What Lonzo Thinks is a wide-ranging, free-flowing discussion where I offer my unsolicited views on everything from music, movies, politics, sports, religion, pop culture, you name it. If it's happening, I'm talking about it. My thoughts are unsolicited. Nobody wants to hear my thoughts, but I'm going to give them anyway, so listen. And if you don't want to listen, then don't listen. All right, and I am back with a special guest. Jake Wade, son, what's the business?
Yo. Just here on a Saturday, the first Saturday in the new year, ready to speak.
Oh yeah, it is the first Saturday of the new year. Happy New Year, man. What's your resolution?
I don't do that.
Good.
I don't believe in that.
I don't either. Okay, good. Because I think the whole resolution thing is totally overblown because nobody ever keeps it anyway. So, anyways.
Right.
Yeah, so why even bother telling yourself that lie? I'm going to lose 30 pounds this year and gain 30.
Yeah, that's usually what happens.
Yeah.
Or you'll start doing something and then you stop. Like, I was on a roll at first, but then, I just stopped and, I'm doing the same thing I was doing last year.
Exactly. So, everything old is new again. You know what? That makes me wonder. I wonder if Michael Jackson was like, this is going to be the year that I stop smashing these little boys. And then halfway through the year, it's like, damn, just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in. What, man, you got nothing to say?
Why would I say anything about that?
Okay, man. All right, I'm not even going to go there. All right, so we're not here to talk about resolutions or Michael Jackson smashing young boys. We'll save that for a different conversation. So we're talking about, oh my God, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. This is our spoiler review and slash discussion. So if you have not seen the film yet and you don't want it to be spoiled, you might want to go elsewhere and then come back and check us out after you've seen the film. All right, so first and foremost, Star Wars, there's really not a whole lot I need to say about it. Everybody knows what Star Wars is. It's probably the most famous movie franchise in the history of mankind, especially in the United States of America. Everybody, it doesn't matter. It's a phenomenon unlike any other because it spans not only decades, but it spans generations. I mean, it's like something that, fathers pass down to their sons and daughters, and it's just an amazing phenomenon that really can't be quantified. And it's something that I think, us fans of the film franchise hold kind of near and dear to our heart. Therefore, we hold it to a higher standard than we hold maybe some other things that we enjoy recreationally. What do you think?
Yeah, I think people tend to keep these things way too close to themselves, and when it's announced that there's going to be a new movie, people put their hopes way too high, and then they tend to get really, really disappointed when it's not what they want it to be. And then, time changes their opinion on it a lot of times. But some people, it's their life, and they really can't get over things. So it's highly divisive, and there's just some people who love it, there's some people who hate it, there's some people who just will never be like, oh, this is just a movie. It's not just a movie to some people, so it's a big deal.
I mean, you're right, and there's a huge reason behind that, and I think the root of it all is that the first. The initial trilogy was just so good, just so damn good. It impacted people on a real personal level to the point where they hold anything that came after it to such a high standard because they want to feel the way they felt when the original trilogy came out. It's and I think us fans, we've been trying to recapture that sensation ever since. Because I can speak personally, and I think I said this in my previous show, that I saw Star Wars obviously when I was a kid back in 1977 when it came out, and I remember when the movie first came out, seeing the commercials, trailers for it, whatever. I had no desire to see it whatsoever. A, I didn't know what it was about. B, I really didn't like sci-fi, and C, I just didn't, I didn't care. And plus, I didn't go to movies a whole lot when I was a kid because obviously we weren't, didn't have a whole lot of money, and going to the movies back then was, definitely a luxury that we just couldn't, we couldn't afford. Well, anyways, my mom, well, our mom, one day, and this is in October. So Star Wars originally came out in May of 1977. So by the time October come around, it's just this worldwide phenomenon. And my mom took my older brother, my older sister to see it. And I remember when she took us to the theater. This was at the Plaza Theater in Warner Robins, Georgia. And A, I didn't know we were going to the movies. And B, when we got there, I'm like, I do not want to see this movie. And she drops us off there. And I recall this at the old Plaza Theater. Oh, it's a triple cinema. Um, she takes us there, and we sit in the very front row. And like I said, I didn't want to be there. Didn't want to see the movie. And then you see that opening crawl. And you see that first scene, and I was hooked. I was. It was like I got sucked into a black hole, and I was absolutely mesmerized by what I saw. And I think that was like maybe actually I think that was my first time ever seeing a movie in a movie theater. I think it was, yeah, because the next year I saw Saturday Night Fever in that same, yeah. So the very first movie I saw in a movie theater was Star Wars. I had been to the movies before. We've been to a drive-in. There was a drive-in over on Highway 247 that we went to previously. So I'd seen a movie outside of the house before, but that was my first time seeing a movie in a movie theater. So I guess that made it even more special. And like I said, it definitely had an impact on me. And when it comes to this movie franchise, that's a feeling that I've been trying to recapture ever since. So speak on that. The first time you ever saw Episode 4, A New Hope. Well, back then it wasn't called Episode 4; it was just called Star Wars. But go ahead.
I actually have no idea. I don't know if I can speak on it because I remember. So when I was a kid, I didn't go to the movies at all. Like when I was an actual child, I very, very, very rarely went to the movies. So, and when Star Wars came out, I wasn't born. So the first Star Wars movie I recall seeing, I think, was Return of the Jedi, and I did not like it. And our brother Keenan used to show me these movies over and over again. I did not like them. I was really not into them. So there was no magic for me to rekindle, and I really cannot tell you when I started to actually like these movies. But I know that when I was a child, I didn't like them. I just saw them over and over again and did not care, and I was tired of seeing them. And one day I just realized, hey, this is kind of good. So I don't have any story that I can say, I watched this and it hooked me and, my life was changed. I don't have that. Just one day I realized I like Star Wars. So I know that's a deflating story, it's very anticlimactic, but really it's the truth. I can't tell you. I don't know.
Okay, well, it's not deflating to me. I mean, you feel what you feel. I mean, everybody's not going to have the same type of allegiance to it, especially, if you think about the fact that obviously, you didn't see it when it first came out, so you weren't, in tune to the hoopla because, once again, back in 1977, I mean, you couldn't go anywhere or turn on TV without hearing something about Star Wars. It was an absolute, yeah, I mean, it just overtook us for a period of time. And it was just something amazing to live through. And and it's like you want to be part of the ant crowd because you don't want to be the one person who hadn't seen it. I don't care if you were in the projects or whatever. I mean, you don't want to be the one kid who hadn't seen it. So it definitely had a major impact on me. And y'all recall being terrified of Darth Vader and how I wanted to cry when he killed Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, and how elated and how I wanted to cry when Luke hears Obi-Wan's ghost talking to him and he decides to turn off the targeting apparatus and trust in the Force to fire that torpedo into that small hole. I mean, it just worked. I still can't put it into words how that impacted me, and also it enhanced my already deep love for movies. So, anyways, all that said, that brings us full circle to where we are now. Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, which is the end of the Luke Skywalker story, or the Skywalker story, so to speak. And of course, you had the original trilogy, then you had the prequels, or these are the sequels. And and obviously, when it came back, the original, when the first of the sequels, The Force Awakens came out, that was a huge phenomenon. And in a way, it kind of recaptured, 1977 a little bit, but not to that same on that same scale. But then it was followed by The Last Jedi, which was a financial success, but nowhere near as beloved as The Force Awakens. So when we go into The Rise of Skywalker, there was a bit of trepidation, I think, for a lot of folks because of the divisiveness of The Last Jedi, and how people feel that Ryan Johnson, who directed it, actually bastardized the the um, the Force Awakens, and also basically bastardized the whole saga in itself. So let's speak about that a little bit. Do you think that he actually bastardized it with the Last Jedi?
Yeah, I think he went in trying to completely subvert what people expected and do his own art house type Star Wars movie, something different from what had been done before, which in a way is a good idea, but you shouldn't do stuff like that with such a franchise that people are so they put so much of themselves into. It's really hard to come out with something that's not going to completely destroy what people are wanting. So when I saw that movie, the first thing I thought was, this thing is all over the place. It's so disjointed, and it doesn't seem to have a coherent story, and it's moving so quickly. And it really seemed like he was trying his hardest to just slap you in the face. Well, from the last movie, you thought it was going to be, more of that, but no, here's something completely different. What you thought was going to happen is not going to happen, and, just forget what you thought of before. And I think there's just so many things that just went wrong with that film that again is deflating. From that, I didn't have high hopes for Rise of Skywalker. So I think a lot of people felt that way, and a lot of people just were not even excited. And I can certainly feel that way. I didn't even watch any of the trailers because I was just like, after the last thing, I don't really think I'm not going into it thinking I'm going to see something wonderful. So yeah, I do think The Last Jedi was it wasn't the movie it needed to be, and it certainly wasn't the thing that we needed to push us into the end of this trilogy.
Well, I agree, and I think Luke Skywalker actually said it in The Last Jedi. You may recall there's a line of dialogue where he says, "This is not going to end the way that you think," and I think that was on purpose by Ryan Johnson putting that in there, along with a lot of other things. And the thing about The Last Jedi that bothered me more than anything else, all in all, The Last Jedi, I mean, it wasn't a terrible film. It just it subverted, like you said, what we had hoped to see, had kind of primed ourselves to see, because with The Force Awakens, J.J. Abrams, who directed it, really primed us for for something totally opposite of what we got. And I think in a way, Ryan Johnson, not only betrayed the fans, but also betrayed the work that J.J. Abrams had put in on The Force Awakens, which everybody said that The Force Awakens was basically a retelling of Episode 4, which it basically is in a way, but that don't make it bad. I mean, it wasn't a terrible movie at all. It was very enjoyable. I mean, and it was after all the years after the prequels and everything. I mean, I think we needed something that was just fun and kind of harken us back to the original trilogy, which is what JJ did. So I didn't hold that against him or whatever.
Right.
Okay, But that being said, the thing that disappointed me the most about The Last Jedi is Luke Skywalker. Okay, and follow me on this. Okay, from the very first film, Episode 4, we meet Luke, and obviously he's powerful in the Force. Of course, he's Darth Vader's son, and he's supposed to be the most powerful. He's basically the chosen one, the most powerful Jedi in the galaxy. Okay, so and obviously he's learning about who he is and his destiny in episode 4. Then in The Empire Strikes Back, he's still training and still honing his skills. And by the time we get to the Return of the Jedi, he's basically he's basically a full fledged Jedi now, but still he's still raw in a way. And the one thing I always wanted to see with the Star Wars saga is to see Luke Skywalker at the height of his powers, doing badass Jedi shit, and we never got to see that. We saw glimpses of it in Return of the Jedi in the opening sequence, but we didn't see him as, once again, for lack of a better term, we didn't see him like we saw Neo in the Matrix, where with his powers fully realized. We never got to see. I don't think I've ever wanted to see something as bad in a film as wanting to see Luke Skywalker at the height of his powers, just kicking ass throughout the galaxy. And once again, I'm a writer. Everybody knows this by now. If you listen to me enough, okay. And as a screenwriter, if I had the opportunity to write The Last Jedi, oh my God, it would have been some off the chain shit. I would have had Luke wiping out the freaking First Order, left and right, and obviously and facing off against Kylo Ren. I mean, I would have given Luke his opportunity to finally be the badass we all knew he could be, that he would be, instead of having to read about it, in the many novels and everything. We wanted to see it, and we never got it. And I think it was a betrayal to Mark Hamill, who plays Luke Skywalker as well. We just never got to see him be all that, to realize his full potential on screen. And it really disappoints me. I'm disappointed to this day, and I'll never forgive Rian Johnson and the folks at Disney for allowing that to happen, because that is what I expected with The Last Jedi. I expected that big climactic battle at the end of The Last Jedi. I expected that to actually be Luke and not an Avatar. I wanted to see him face off against the First Order, and like I said, and just put wood to these motherfuckers. It didn't happen, and that's a disappointment I'll never get over. Go ahead.
That's exactly how I feel about it. We never, ever, ever get to see Luke at the height of his power. Never. And, I remember when, before The Force Awakens came out, there were rumors that, why is Luke not, why is he in exile? Where is he? There were rumors that he had become like such a powerful Force wizard that he couldn't even control his own power, and he was in danger of destroying like the galaxy or something, and he had to go somewhere to control his own power. And that to me was a great idea, and I was really hoping for something like that. And then in The Last Jedi, we find out that he's on this planet because I failed my student, and I tried to kill him, and I'm a failure, and I'm nervous. I'm feeling depressed. I'm sad for myself. Oh, woe is me. And that was so freaking disappointing. And we don't know how powerful he became. We never get to see him be powerful, show any kind of real skill. In fact, what we see is him training with Rey, and Rey beats him. I know it was like just a training sequence, and he wasn't really serious, but she beats him. So we never get to see him, just take anybody out. And the thing at the end, now I thought that was a cool scene, but it needed to really be him there. It's obvious that, okay, George Lucas, who didn't have anything to do with that movie, but George Lucas has always been into martial arts and like samurai films and things like that. He knows Eastern philosophy. He knows about, Japanese culture. He knows how they work with martial arts and ki and things like that. And he always incorporated that into his movies. I even think that J.J. Abrams and even Ryan Johnson to some extent are also into that type of thing. And Ryan Johnson for sure is probably into anime because I saw a lot of anime like things happening in that movie, and that could have actually been a great culmination of that final battle in that little frost desert or whatever it was. With him standing there, taking all of that from those walkers and things, that should have actually been him doing that because he's that powerful. And that's how it would have been in an anime. And I just thought that was so cool until we found out, oh, he's not even there. So that was a missed opportunity. And for him to die after that, I think I really wanted to just be like, I'm done with Star Wars. Because that didn't need to happen. Like, we never see him in action. We never see him actually, like, redeem himself for the fact that he was so sad about what he had done with Kylo. We don't see him redeem himself for that. He's just like, okay, I'm gonna help my friends escape, but I'm also gonna die at the end of this because I'm not even brave enough to go to where they are and take this man on. I'm gonna project myself across the galaxy and kill myself, and that will be the end of me. So that in itself, yes, the biggest disappointment about The Last Jedi and even going into Rise of Skywalker was the lack of Luke Skywalker and the fact that we don't see him at his real peak. Going into the Rise of Skywalker, I wanted that movie to be an adventure with Rey, Finn, Poe, and Luke. That's what I wanted it to be, and we didn't get that. And I'm just, I'm not happy about that.
Agree 100%, man. Just 100%. And once again, JJ had set it up perfectly for Luke to be the badass in The Last Jedi. He set it up. She finds him at the end. She gives him back his saber. And, the canvas was set to paint this masterpiece, and give it all to Luke. Luke deserved it. Luke fucking earned it. Mark Hamill fucking earned it. I think, to have his badass moment on screen. Something that will live forever. Now, we'll never get to see that. And and you can't retcon it because Mark Hamill is freaking damn near 70 years old. So me personally, I'm not gonna accept, a reboot and seeing somebody else playing Luke. I don't think anybody's gonna accept that. This ain't James Bond where it's, you can have a different Luke every 15 years. No, this is Luke's. This is Mark Hamill's role. Okay, and you can't envision anyone else being in that role and taking it, to your heart like you did with the original actor. So it's such a fucking betrayal. And once again, I'm a screenwriter, and one of the tropes of screenwriting that you really, I think, have to follow. The mantra is show don't tell, show don't tell. When you write for the screen, you're writing visually. Okay, so you're hearing about Luke being this badass that everybody's searching for in the galaxy and the whole nine, or you read you read the novels and everything, how Luke is such a badass. You hear about it, you know about it, but you never fucking see it. And that's why you have fucking movies, is to see it and not hear about it. Show don't tell. And that's what he did. They told, didn't show. So it just boggles my mind how the powers that be at Disney would allow this. Because I know, once again, being a screenwriter, I'm not saying that, I'm an insider when it comes to Hollywood, because I'm not. But there's certain things that I know. All right, when you write a fucking script and you're gonna put that script into production, it goes through layer after layer after layer. It's not just, okay, here's your first draft, go shoot it. It don't work that way. You have rewrites. You have script reads. The director has to sign off on it. Producer has to sign off on it. The executive producer has to sign off on it. The folks who are fucking financing it, the studio, everybody has to sign off on it and be in unison and lockstep with what this story is going to say. So the fact that this happened with Ryan Johnson means that there are a lot of different people along that chain of command. Kathleen Kennedy being the executive producer who took over for George Lucas. With these people, with all these layers, that means that each and every one of them had to sign off on this fucking thing. And that is even more infuriating. I'm a nobody. But I would think that someone at that level, involved somewhere in the decision making process, can be like, you know what? You know, I think everybody wants to see Luke kick ass. Nobody said that not once.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Critics loved The Last Jedi. Critics were like, this is exactly what we needed for Star Wars. And, you know, fans didn't feel that way, but the critics did. So I feel like the producers and the writers and everything, they also thought this is what Star Wars needs. We don't need to do what, you know, JJ was setting up. We need to do something radically different, something that people are not expecting. And I really think they thought it was a great idea to do that. I don't think anybody even thought, oh, we just need to do more of the same. And, you know, I can understand that to some extent, but they signed off on it because they all thought it was a good idea. And like I said, critics thought it was a good idea. It just didn't come around to the fans.
Okay, but you know, of all the movie franchises out there, of all the movie franchises, you know, if there was ever a franchise that was critic proof, it's fucking Star Wars. Okay, right? You know, you can call it Star Wars: The Rise of the Turd, and it's going to make $1 billion just because it's Star Wars. You know. Once again, I'm a Prince fan. Okay, you know, now I can liken it to Prince. All right. I don't care if Prince put out an album of him just farting. You know, 16 tracks of nothing him farting. I'm going to buy it anyway. Why? Because it's Prince. Period. You know what I mean? Same difference. You know, you slap Star Wars on it, okay, and you throw it in movie theaters, you're going to make $1 billion at a minimum. Period. You know, so and if there ever was a movie franchise that wasn't for the critics, it's goddamn Star Wars. Like I said before in the opening, I mean, this is something that's been passed down from generation to generation. You got kids who are 8 years old who love it just as much as somebody who's 68 years old. I mean, you know, families sit down and watch the trilogy together, the original trilogy together. They sit down and watch the, you know, all 8 films together in sequence. I mean, this is like, you know, a family legacy in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? A family heirloom. So you just can't do that to people. You just can't. You can't. And for the powers to be that did this, I mean, may they rot in fucking hell. I mean, that's just about some bullshit. It was. And I said it before, The Last Jedi was not a bad film, per se. You know, just looking at it from as a work of art, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay? But a film can be good and still not meet its objective. There's a lot of movies like that. They're just good that don't mean. The Godfather 3 is a good movie. But compared to Godfather 1 and 2, you know, it failed to meet that expectation. But if Godfather 1 and 2 never existed and only Godfather 3 existed, everybody would be like, man, this is a great ass film. You know? But the Godfather saga is so beloved by its fans that they felt betrayed by the things that happened in Godfather 3. But at the same time, they understand it's still a very well-made film with great acting performances. It's great as a work of art. It just did not meet, you know, the legacy, you know, that made it, you know, what it became. You feel me?
Yeah.
And
well, you know. Okay, keep going.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, I've only seen The Last Jedi one time because it didn't inspire me to want to watch it again and make a different opinion. I'm still planning to watch it again, but I haven't because I was like, you know, I got it, whatever. From my one viewing of it, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good. You know, I did not think it was a good movie. I really did not. And it certainly was not a good Star Wars movie, but I didn't think it was a good movie. Was it shot very well? Absolutely. It was a very well-made movie, but it was not a good movie. And to compare it, I don't know if you're actually comparing it to Godfather 3, but it's a little different. Like, Godfather 3 is a good movie, whereas The Last Jedi is not.
I beg to differ. I mean, you know, like I said before, you know, if all the others Star Wars film never existed, and you just saw the Last Jedi as a standalone film, I think people will have a different opinion of it. But like I
Well,
said,
what I think is if it were the only Star Wars movie, I would say, it was all right. I still wouldn't say it was a good movie. Would I say it was a waste of my time? No. But would I say it was a good movie? Like, oh, I was really glad that I saw that. Oh, yeah, that's worth watching. Well, maybe it is worth watching, but I still wouldn't come away from it saying, oh, that was definitely a good movie. And I said something similar about The Rise of Skywalker, which I personally think is a good movie, just a bad Star Wars movie. I think there is a difference, and The Last Jedi didn't meet the level of good movie in my opinion.
I get it. So I'm not trying to dispel, what you feel about it. So yeah, fine, absolutely fine. Um, and I agree with you that I've only seen it once myself. I've tried to watch it again, like on Netflix or whatever, and I've probably gotten through like the first 10, 15 minutes of it. I can't. I've been unable to watch it a second time. So that tells me I probably never will, because it just didn't. Like I said, it's not a bad film, but it's hard for me to watch it now a second time because I know A was going to happen, and B, I know how disappointed it made me based on all the other things that happened. Same thing like with the Phantom Menace. I mean, I tried to watch the Phantom Menace again last week. Got through the first 15 minutes, couldn't do it because of Jar Jar Binks. Even though I think, even though I think that the fight scene between Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Obi-Wan Kenobi is one of the greatest action sequences ever in the history of mankind. I can watch that over and over again, over again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm a completist though. It's hard for me to just watch a movie and just watch one scene. I try to watch the whole thing. So even though it has this magnificent fight scene in it, I still can't, sit through that film again.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel that way. The Phantom Menace, I liked it when I first saw it, and I went back to the movies and saw it like another 2 or 3 times. I think two. And I liked it every time that I saw it. But every time that I watched it, in subsequent viewings, it is diminished, and now I can't watch it because I realized what's bad about it, and it's not just Jar Jar. It is the fact that it is a freaking annoying movie. It is annoying, and it is a childish movie for kids, and it just doesn't appeal to me anymore. And I can't do it. Yes, it has that amazing fight scene in it, but it doesn't appeal to me. It really doesn't. And I personally think that is the worst Star Wars movie. I can't get through it, and I will probably never ever watch it again.
Yeah, I agree, and the CGI doesn't hold up either at all, at all. So that makes it even harder to watch. Um, but that being said, like I said, leading up to the Rise of Skywalker, I'm sure a lot of folks had the same type of trepidation that you and I had going into the film, and we were hope beyond hope to see something a little different, something that's going to be a satisfying finale to to this saga. So that being said, let's kind of dig into it. So all right, so like I said, we'll just kind of jump into it and we'll talk more and we're gonna just kind of riff on everything. All right, so like I said, I think I went to see it last Sunday. Yeah, I did. I went to see it last Sunday, and I'm gonna say right off the bat, I didn't go in there feeling I had this uneasiness about going to see it. I had listened to some of the reviews, and the reviews were kind of lukewarm at best. So you can tell that once again, like I said, Star Wars to me is critic proof. I was gonna see it no matter what. So I kind of blew off all the initial things I heard about it. I tried to avoid a lot of the reviews as well. So anyway, so I go to see the film with a bit of trepidation, but also a heightened sense of anticipation. All right, so the film opens, of course. You got the opening crawl, fine, and it opens with Kylo Ren kicking ass somewhere, and just from this opening sequence, my sense of dread just heightened. I'm like, oh, really? Come on. Really. So go ahead and talk about the opening sequence and whether or not it kind of whether it grabbed you or not.
The whole beginning of the movie was slapdash. I did not like even the text of the opening crawl. It didn't grab me. It didn't set up the movie in a way that I think it needed to. That wasn't really an exciting synopsis of what was going to happen. So that was disappointing. And that opening scene, you know, he was on Mustafar, just in case you didn't know, which was Darth Vader's base. That's where Anakin and Obi-Wan fought in Episode 3 at the end. So that's where he was. Um, uh, First off, I don't like Kylo Ren. I did not like him from the first moment he appeared on the screen in Episode 7, and I didn't like him at the very end of this movie here. So to see him coming in and just like ripping people apart and just doing all kinds of ridiculous feats, like this is the most powerful man in the history of this galaxy. It's like, really? They're really trying to put this dude over. And then he ends up finding something. We don't know what he's looking for, but he finds this thing, and then next thing you know, he's somewhere, and there's Palpatine. And I'm like, really? I mean, what is happening here? It doesn't really explain anything that's happening. You just see a bunch of things happening, and then all of a sudden you get right into the villain essentially explaining his plot. But then you have Kylo Ren again. What side is he on? What is he trying to do? He comes in there and is like, I will kill you too. Okay, are you going to work for Palpatine now, or are you going to do his bidding? And the whole movie, we see him going through doing his bidding, but saying that he's not working for him. So the way they wrote this guy, and the way they wrote Palpatine's return was just so half-hearted, and just it really wasn't logical, and the movie was not set up in the correct way. It was just, yeah. I went into it not really with dread or trepidation, but I didn't have high hopes. I didn't go into it thinking, okay, this is going to be much better than the last one. I just thought, okay, let's just see what happens, and I didn't feel any sense of relief. I was just like, okay, well, let's see what happens. So, it's really not a good way to start the movie.
No, not at all. Not at all. I agree. Like I said, it's very slapdash. It was incoherent. Like I said, I didn't even know they was on Mustafar. I didn't know where they were, and you know what? And I didn't care, so I didn't even try to figure it out. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna watch this film and just keep it moving. Now I will say the next sequence I did like. This was only part of the film I did like. I did like was the sequence where they're in the Millennium Falcon and you have what's his name Poe, who's piloting the ship with what's his name Finn, or whatever, and how they what they did with the light speed jumping.
Yeah.
I thought that was fucking cool as hell. Okay, that was it was slick, well shot. I just like the whole aesthetic of it. So that kind of pulled me back in and gave me some high hopes because I thought that the whole light speed jumping thing was fascinating to me and something that I think should have paid off later on in the film. Because why are you gonna show him doing that and he's doing it with some skill and not have it pay off later on in the film? But that's just one of the many things about the film that leaves a lot to be desired. So now we're reintroduced to Rey, who's now this powerful Jedi, and she's levitating with rocks and all this kind of stuff, and once again, by this point, like I said, I'm just watching, and I know we get to the sequence where did it go back? Was it back to Jakar or Tatooine?
I don't know where they were.
In the desert. Well, that scene where they're in the desert and she first time she fights with Kylo or whatever. Okay, Um,
Yeah, I don't know what planet that was on.
yeah, whatever planet it was, looked like Tatooine or Jakar. Um, that's where I kind of fell off. I kind of fell off the cliff because, and I said in my previous review, I fell asleep. So, and this is the point where everything gets fuzzy because I fell asleep. So there's about a 15 to 20 minute chunk of this film that I don't know what the fuck happened. So I'm gonna let you go.
Wow.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and fill it in from there. Because by the time I woke up, I know they said that Chewie died, you know, when it crashed, and when I woke up, Chewie's alive again. So oh no. So what happened there, man?
um, I was wide awake, but I can't really tell you myself because it was a complete mess. Um, the only thing that I remember, and okay, what I'm trying to remember if this. Did you see um, the part where Ray heals the snake?
Like I said, I was fading in and out. I saw a snake, but I don't really know what happened. Like I said, because I fought my sleepiness as much as I possibly could, and I found I just gave in. So you know, plus you know how it is when you're in the movie theater and you're trying to save face, and I don't know if I was snoring or not.
Uh,
I'm trying to front like like I'm just just rub my eyes, or whatever, man. I'm putting up all kind of fucking fronts, man. So
yeah.
I know she did something with a snake, man. So you know.
Okay, okay. So this part of the movie here, and this is like the beginning of one of my major problems with the entire film because they did it the entire film here. Um, they're looking for these little wayfinders or whatever they are, so they can find Palpatine because Palpatine is on this previously unknown um, Sith planet, and nobody can find it. Nobody knows where it is, but there are these artifacts that will tell you where it is. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to go and find all these wayfinders, but Kylo Ren is also after them. So it's a race to these artifacts, and so they're going from planet to planet to planet to planet, trying to get these things. And what happens on this planet is that they go here and they're supposed to find this thing. They don't really know where it is, but they're looking. All of a sudden, they're in some kind of party. You got these aliens, whatever they are, whatever the inhabitants of this planet are, dancing. They're having a good time, and then Ray fades out and is talking to Kylo about the same crap that he was talking to her about in the Last Jedi. Um, your parents, they threw you away. Join us. All this crap, and like, stop doing this. Really, stop. The whole link that they have, where they can talk to each other no matter where they are. I hated that. I didn't think that was a good idea, and they just did it way too much. So they did this really inopportune times, broke up the action and the story, just trying to do that. But then they go and they find on this planet here, they actually run into a mysterious guy who reveals himself to be Lando Calrissian. And Lando tells them what they need to look for to find this wayfinder. Tells them about this guy who crash landed on this planet, and he had this he had the wayfinder, but he also had another artifact that would help them, and it was something that they really needed to have. So they go looking for this ship, and the ship is familiar to Rey. She's seen it before, and that's supposed to be part of her backstory. So she goes. They find the ship underground, and oh no, they didn't find it underground. They ended up falling in like quicksand or something. And I'm gonna get back to this because there's something I really hate that happens here.
Good, because I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Well, I'll go ahead and say it. They like fall in. Okay, well, first off, they have a pretty. I wouldn't say it was a cool battle, but it was kind of a battle, above ground where they're fighting stormtroopers, and they have like these flying stormtroopers, and that's a first, and that was kind of cool.
Well, that was in the desert. That was in Jakar or Tatooine.
Yeah, that's
Or they
that's what
or
they,
there were more flying stormtroopers after
that
that.
this is that planet. I'm still talking about that planet where they
Okay,
are.
all right.
So they have that battle there, and Kylo shows up, and well, Kylo shows up like after they go underground. They fall underground in this quicksand, and while they're falling in the quicksand, Finn is like, Ray, there's something I need to tell you, and then he does not tell her. Like they, he thinks that they're dying, like they're gonna die in this quicksand. So he comes up with, this is this thing that I need to tell you, and it's very important that I tell you in our dying breaths, and he never says it. They fall underground, and they don't die because there's this cave that this quicksand or whatever leads to, and he opts not to tell her what he thought he needed to tell her in their dying moments. And this point comes up a couple more times, and at the end of the movie, we never, ever, 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 ever hear what this man has to say to her. You think he's setting up to say, I love you, or something like that, but that's not what happened. But it's a mystery because we don't get to tell you, they don't tell you in the movie. Now, I do know what it was. We'll get back to it. But they don't tell you in the movie.
Okay, now hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let me cut in here. Okay. Wasn't he smashing the Asian chick?
Yeah.
Okay,
And that's
just checking.
a big plot point that is completely erased
Mhm.
in this movie. There is no Finn and Rose in this movie. They retcon that crap so hard, and I think that was such a dumb thing to do. Because I know people hated it, but I didn't think it was that bad. But for them to not continue it in this next movie made no sense. So, completely underused person. The woman who was one of the main characters of the last movie is nothing in this one.
Well, let me ask you this.
Relationship.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, are there niggers in the galaxy? In this galaxy?
More than one?
No, I'm saying, are the niggas called niggers in this? I mean,
no, they're not. But
okay. I guess the point I'm making is that if Finn had hooked up with Ray, don't you know a lot of folks been pissed off about that? There'd have been like this whole controversy. Why she fucking a nigger? You know what I mean? Why ain't she fucking Kylo Ren or whomever?
But you know what? They sure were saying like why is this Jap or whatever she is?
So yeah, exactly. That's the point I'm making. Yeah.
So
So you're gonna have a Jap and a nigga fucking each other? You know what I mean?
She's not Japanese. She's like Korean or something.
Well, whatever she is, wetback, spick, whatever, chink. Exactly. Let's just span the whole gamut of racial stereotypes or whatever. But what I'm saying is, I know nobody liked Rose. I ain't like her that much either. Nobody liked her, and I know there was some controversy about Finn being a stormtrooper being black because they're all clones. They're all supposed to be white.
Mm-hmm.
There's some issues there, and then then to have Finn smashing Ray, who Ray of course like the whitest girl in the galaxy. You know what I mean? Poor Finn. I mean, he was damned if he do, damned if he didn't. And so when they did, I know they did bring in the black girl. I was like, well, at least they'll let him smash the black girl. Just kind of satiate everybody's prejudices or whatever. The bigotry. So.
And they didn't do that, but I'm glad they didn't. When she showed up, I was like, why? Why do they have to do this? Why? I was really so mad and it didn't happen.
But that's why, don't you? You know that's why.
Yes, that's why. That's why. But I was like, why are you freaking succumbing to hatred? Like, trolls are what made this movie, and well, at least parts of it, and it's ridiculous. If they weren't going to continue the whole Rose and Finn thing, which they should have done Ray and Finn. But if they didn't do the Finn and Rose and Finn and Ray, maybe they should have done Finn and Poe like some people wanted. That would have been weird, but they could have done it. Because those are bros, they could have actually loved each other. But they didn't do that either. So Finn is just like, forget it. There's nobody for you. But that's a different point. No, they didn't continue the thread of of Rose and Finn, and hatred won out there, and that was terrible. So anyway, we think that he's going to say to Rey, "I love you," but that's not at all what he says, and he does not say anything at all. So they fall underground, and they're looking for this artifact, and they find a dead body, who's the guy that Lando was telling them to look for. And but it turns out he had this little dagger, and that's supposed to be an important thing that would help them find uh, the Sith planet. And then the whole thing with the snake was, Rey is showing off her new Force skill, which is that she can heal. Yay! I didn't think that was that big of a deal, but some people really hated that. Being able to heal is something we have not seen in Star Wars before, and I think that was kind of a cool ability to give her. But at the same time, it really is like, what can't this girl do? So this whole time they're trying to put Rey over as the strongest thing that you could ever imagine. She can heal, bring things back to life and everything, and but she's also the object of affection and woman that this black man needs to run after over and over and over again. Because what happens after this, they reach the surface and they're like, "Hey, we need to leave now. We have this artifact. We need to get off this planet and go get the other one." And this is not my biggest, but one of my biggest problems with this entire movie. Rey is like, "Hey, you guys go. I'm gonna go and wander off because I feel something or whatever." She goes off by herself, and then bad stuff happens. The bad thing that happens here is Chewbacca gets kidnapped, and that would not have happened if Rey hadn't wandered off by herself. If they just gotten on the ship and flown away, it would have never happened. But that leads into the fake out of her fighting Kylo Ren, and the transport with Chewbacca on it needs to be brought down. Rey's trying to bring it down. She's so strong she can actually use the Force to stop a flying ship. Wow, so strong. And she there's this tug of war between her and Kylo with the ship, and Rey mistakenly destroys the ship with Force lightning, and Chewbacca's on it, and he's dead. Oh no, she killed Chewbacca. I mean, everybody in the theater was like, "Really, really?" Now I knew that he wasn't going to be killed that easily. Like I knew they wouldn't do that. Ryan Johnson would have done that, but this is J.J. Abrams. I knew that wasn't going to happen. But that's the little fake out there.
Yeah, but Ryan Johnson would have had Chewbacca choke on eating one of those birds or something.
Yeah, it would have been something really benign, but like, I can't believe he did that.
Yeah, he have a cyst on his neck or something.
Chewbacca just dies all of a sudden because like he has Wookiee cancer and we didn't realize.
Yeah, he had a staph infection.
From eating improperly cooked pork.
Exactly. You're not supposed to cook those at 400 degrees. Nigga died of Ebola.
And there are no Africans. Well, Finn, you got it from Finn. That African.
They would have blamed it on Finn. Yeah, exactly.
He had Ebola and he transmitted Chewbacca. Yeah, that was a little fake out there, and that was unnecessary because minutes later it's revealed that he didn't die at all. He's on another freighter. But where did it come from? This is complete flat land. You don't see any mountains or anything. Where did the other one come from? Like, he wasn't on the one that Rey destroyed, so where was the other one? That's just ridiculous.
It was cloaked. They had cloaking. A cloaking device.
I mean, that would be believable, and that would make sense if we saw it, but we didn't see that. Like, you can't just assume that's what it was, because we didn't see it. So, but, again, this is one of my biggest problems with the movie, because everywhere they go off to another planet, Rey wanders off and something bad happens. And Black Finn follows her everywhere. And, like a little puppy or something. And it's like...
Okay, so let me stop you right there. I'm glad you brought that up. because that brings me to my number one pet peeve when it comes to Finn. And this is from the Force Awakens through the Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Ray, Ray. I'm like, how many times does he fucking do that?
Yes.
Ray. Hey, she ain't gonna hear you. She inside of the ship. Why? I mean, he is such a bitch.
Yeah. So yes, absolutely.
He does it over and over and over and over again.
And over and over and over.
So annoying.
That seems to be his character.
Yeah.
And that's what they did in all three movies.
Right.
All of The Last Jedi was him chasing after Rey. And it's like, why didn't they have them fall in love?
Exactly.
That's what needed to happen at that point.
But you know what probably happened? You know, like Ray's on the ship or whatever, and he's out there screaming. It's like, hey, who's screaming for you? She's like, oh, that's some nigga.
Yeah, she didn't care about him.
Yeah, fuck him. he ain't one with the Force.
Yeah. That's the thing. Finn was actually my favorite character from Force Awakens. I liked him a lot. I thought they could do so much with him.
Until they bitchified him. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah,
I agree.
They wouldn't do anything with him at all.
Yeah.
They just have him to be the man to chase after Rey for 3 entire freaking movies.
Yep.
And it ruined it.
Ray!
Everywhere that Rey went, I could go run and yell. Like, why?
Like for example, when they're fighting on the water thing or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And he's screaming, Ray! What's she gonna do? What's she gonna stop and turn around and be like, what is she gonna do in that moment? Why?
She's trying to fight Kylo.
Yeah.
And that's all she cares about.
Yeah. And ain't like she'll be like, oh, hold on for a second, Kylo. Let me see what this nigga want. What?
and he risked his life on the most treacherous waters I've ever seen.
Yeah.
To go after her and didn't do anything. He just stood there staring and screaming. Like, and then once she finished fighting Kylo, she jetted off. She's gone. She didn't acknowledge him at all. Why do they do this to this man? Why? But like I said, that was the trajectory of the entire movie. Go and do something on one planet. Rey wanders off. Finn runs after her. Something bad happens. That's just, the entire movie was that. And I'm just like, when the black girl shows up, I'm like, okay, maybe he'll stop, but he didn't. And she helps him. Like, oh, I know you love the white girl. And to say the white girl, I don't want to say that. That's racist. I was really in favor of it. If they had to inject, I don't think every movie needs romance. I really don't. And I don't think it was necessary in this movie. But there was so much, people wanted romance so much in this movie. The romance should have been, if they were not going to continue Rose and Finn, it should have been Finn and Rey. Because that's a man in love right there. Like, really. That is a man just like, I have met the love of my life and I'm not going to stop until I get with her. And they didn't do it.
But there's so many wasted opportunities in this movie. You know what would have been great? A scene that would have been great that I definitely would have bought is if they had a scene where after Rey leaves for like the 1,000th time and Rey, and Finn is like, screaming his lungs out trying to stop her or whatever, right? They show him like, in his quarters or whatever, looking at her picture, and he goes, always, please, be not, always.
Yeah, absolutely. That would have worked.
I would have wrote that.
Not only is he singing, the song actually plays, and he's like singing along to it. Then we see the record. Finished. You had to listen to the record. And, they should have done that. You know what? And you know what? If nothing else, it would have been a comedic moment.
Exactly.
It would have lightened the mood, and it would have, people wouldn't have expected it, and people would have just burst out laughing. It would have been great.
Yep, and then Poe would have walked in. And Poe would have walked in and slapped the shit out of the man, snap out of it. We got shit to do.
Yeah, and that would have worked. It would have worked so hard. Really, that would have been good.
And for the rest of the movie, every time he saw Rey, you hear that in the background. Always. Wasted opportunity, man.
Yeah, the whole movie was full of wasted opportunities.
Yes.
So it was just that was again that is kind of the crux of my hatred for what they did in this movie. Finn running after Rey, realizing that if first off, what? Oh man, I'm remembering so much that I hate now. I am. I've been talking for a while. I'll get back to this. You go ahead and give your thoughts.
Okay, because like I said, I was in a drunken stupor for a good portion of the film. So like I said, when I woke up, like I said, I'm dazed and confused. So I'm trying to catch up on what's going on. So I really, like I said, the movie's ruined by this time. So I really don't know what's going on. And like I said, I missed a huge chunk of it. So now I'm just watching scenes. So my next coherent moment is, like I said, when they go to that, they meet the black folks on the horses or whatever, and they go to the water thing, whatever. Because I think they were like, we'll go in the morning, and then I know it said something like, we leave at first light or something, and then next thing you know, you see Rey out there, by herself on the thing going to the, I'm like, Rey don't listen to nobody, damn she don't listen to fucking Finn. I mean, she's gonna do whatever it is that she wants to do, and so my disdain and hatred for her, it just continues to grow as the film moves along. Now, and obviously, I always knew that at some point Kylo was gonna come back to the light or whatever. So you got the scene where Han Solo shows up. Fuck, really? They retconning everything, but you can't. But you're not gonna retcon fucking Luke. Okay, all right.
That wasn't a retcon.
I know it was a flashback or whatever, or it was a vision or whatever. I understand all that, but what I'm saying is that they're basically redeeming the fact that he killed his father. Yeah. They're redeeming all that, and once again, and the title in itself is a fake out because it's the Rise of Skywalker, making you think, okay, they're gonna retcon him dying, in the Last Jedi and bring him back and once again give him the proper send off. Nah, fuck that. Yeah. Nah, we're not gonna do that. We'll just have him be a Force ghost. And once again, as a writer, it would have been the easiest thing in the world to retcon Luke and bring him back to life for this. Once again, it just been something very simple as, you open the movie, you reintroduce Luke. He's on the island still or whatever, right? And it could have been something as simple as, my avatar, made me, it sent me into the netherworld or whatever, the Force or whatever, and then I was able to regroup or whatever. I was able to reconfigure,
I used up too much energy.
Exactly.
And I recovered.
Exactly. Something like that. Yeah. And now I'm back. Because if you can resurrect life as a Jedi, why can't he, being the most powerful Jedi, resurrect himself?
Yeah.
Something like that. There's
that is exactly what I thought they were going to do.
Me too.
Because people were so mad about it, and it didn't make any sense that they did it. Yeah. I thought for sure that's what they were going to do.
Me too. That once again, the Rise of Skywalker. I'm thinking, they're going to bring he's going to rise.
That's not really what I thought was going to happen, like in regard to the title. Mm-hmm. I knew it had something to do with Rey, but I didn't think that Luke was truly dead.
Right, and like I said, there was a million different ways you could have brought him. You going to bring back Palpatine, wrinkly, dried up, crusty ass. You going to bring it back Luke? The fuck?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You bring back Darth Maul. Darth Maul got cut in half. Okay.
Wait a minute, though. When did they bring back Darth Maul?
Well, they retconned him in the Clone Wars.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because they gave him like mechanical legs. They say that he used the Force, the dark side. When he fell down that shaft or whatever to kind of cauterize and stay alive or whatever. And then he was found and somebody gave him some mechanical legs. In this galaxy far, far away, shit happens. All right.
Yeah.
So you're gonna retcon Darth Maul, and you're gonna retcon motherfucking Palpatine, who got thrown down the goddamn elevator shaft. You gonna bring his old crusty ass back, but you can't bring Luke back? The fuck?
Yeah. Highly missed opportunity.
Yes.
Because again, like I said, I think this movie would have been a lot better if they had done what I wanted to do and just if it had just been an adventure with Luke and Rey. That would have been awesome. Like, now Luke would have been super powered, so, there may not have been any stakes really, but, they could have found some way to make it harder for him. But a Luke and Rey adventure would have been amazing.
I agree. Now that brings me to another subject. Princess Leia.
Yes.
Okay. Now all of a sudden she's a Jedi. Ain't nowhere in this damn saga up until now did we ever, obviously we know she's Luke's sister, she's Darth Vader's, she's Anakin's daughter, the whole nine. But she never, was one with the Force. She had other shit to do.
Okay. Wait.
What?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess you can go ahead and continue with the thought, but I really don't have any problem with that.
I mean, she was we know she was Force sensitive because obviously, in the Empire Strikes Back, she talks to Luke and everything. So we know she's Force sensitive. She has to be because it's in her DNA, her midichlorian, whatever the hell they want to talk about. So we know she has that ability. But at no point, during the saga, did she ever give us any reason even to believe that she was using the Force. Obviously, in The Last Jedi, when she got blown into space, she used it. But once again, not to the point, we didn't have an inkling that she was training with Luke. Okay, and that she trained Rey. And that she's this badass Jedi just as bad as Luke is. No indication of that whatsoever. Okay? Now, then once again, you're going to retcon motherfucking Leia. You're going to retcon goddamn Palpatine. You're going to retcon Darth Maul. You're going to retcon Waylon Jennings. You're going to retcon Miss Melody. You know what I'm saying?
You're going to retcon Faye Dunaway. Oh, wait.
Yeah, you're going to retcon Faye Dunaway's dead, undead ass. You're going to bring everybody to life but the most important goddamn character. Gets a second chance. You know what I mean? The fuck? I could have sworn I saw Prince in the damn movie somewhere. Shit. Yeah. The fuck, man?
There too. Tupac,
Biggie, yeah. Exactly. Lee Harvey Oswald in.
Lee Harvey, yeah. Kurt Cobain played Paul.
I mean, Amelia Earhart is flying the Millennium Falcon.
Where did she come from? We didn't know how you died. Oh, you did not die. Where have you been?
And the new Supreme Chancellor's goddamn Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah. He was not buried anywhere.
Exactly. They sent him to another damn galaxy. I mean, like I said, you're gonna bring everybody and their grandma back except for the one person we needed to come back. The fuck, man.
Okay, so my problem, I didn't really have a big problem with Leia being a Jedi or whatever, because so many years passed, it's plausible that it could have happened. Like, theoretically, it could have happened. That I didn't really have a problem with that. That was a good way to honor her in her death. I thought that was, that's fine. But my problem, the only problem I really have with that is they could have done something completely different. And this is the way I think The Last Jedi should have gone. Leia should not have been in this movie. It should have been that last battle with Kylo Ren in Last Jedi should have been Luke and Leia together fighting him, and she died in that battle. That's what should have happened. And then it's Luke training Rey in this movie. That is what should have happened. Leia gives her life to beat Kylo in the last movie. That is what should have happened.
But the film had already wrapped by the time she died.
They had a CG Leia in this movie. so they could have done it. They had a CG Leia in Rogue One.
Well, I think they were too far into post production when she died. I think the film was almost in the can and ready to be released. So just the timing of her death, kind of tied their hands in that regard.
Okay, well, crap. I mean, they didn't have to kill Luke. It's the problem. The thing, if she had really been as strong as they made her out to be in this movie, then they could have gone back and made some edits where, they should have killed her in the last movie. She should have been in this one. But other than that, I didn't have any real problems with her being the one who trained Rey in this one because, that was, we don't know what happened in the span of time between Return of the Jedi and in this movie. So that was plausible. In fact, I think it was cool. I think that was fine. I didn't have a real issue with it. The only issue that I did have is that Luke was not alive. They could have had the tag team of Luke and Leia training her, and that's why she's so freaking strong, you know? But no, they didn't do that. But, you know, again, a missed opportunity.
I agree. I mean, I don't have a problem with them bringing Leia back. Like I said before, I mean, my issue was always the fact that everybody got, a second chance, but the most important character, you know. So
they really could have done it. Like it was a no-brainer. You know what? They could have done something kind of dumb, but still it would have worked. We don't see him disappear. Like at the end of that movie, I don't recall. I don't think we actually see him disappearing. Like,
yeah, we do. Yeah. Yeah, they show him sitting on the boulder or whatever, overlooking the ocean, and he fades away.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought we just go back to his planet and we see his robe there.
No, we actually saw him fade away. You saw him, kind of melt away like Obi-Wan did, and
just not instantly, like Obi-Wan.
Yeah, it wasn't just instantly. He just kind of just faded away. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that changes what I was gonna say.
He melted. It was kind of like what's her name in is Wizard of Oz. I'm melting. Yeah, that's what he did.
Actually, wasn't anything like that. But okay, yeah, he faded away.
Yeah.
But I guess the best thing they could have done was, I used up too much energy. I did,
had to recharge my batteries. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I traveled into the Force, and it just wasn't my time. I'm back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it could have been. You bring him a perfect example. He could have became a Force ghost and met with say Anakin, Yoda, and Obi-Wan. It was like, no, it's not time yet. You still got shit to do. Go back or something. Yeah. Or they all could have put their hands together and touched them all together and resurrect. That would have been sexy. That would have been sexy as shit.
It really would have.
Yeah.
Because what they did at the end of this movie was the whole
Mm-hmm.
Ray channeling all the previous Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
They set it up to do that. So why didn't that could have been a recurring point? Like Luke did it when he died. So why couldn't Ray do it at the end too? Like that's the end. Like this is what we do. We channel each other, all these Jedi, to come back. Because Ray kind of died in this movie. So yeah, they could have done it, but they didn't.
Yeah, and like I said, and I'm sure Mark Hamill would have been all for it. And I think it would make the film a whole lot more satisfying. So moving along, now, obviously, Kylo is she kicks his ass on the water, and he throws away his lightsaber after he talks to Han. He goes to he redeems himself or whatever, and he and then for a nice little chunk he's kind of gone or whatever. And now you got Rey going after Palpatine. I guess she gets the wayfinder thing or whatever. And either way, she goes to wherever Palpatine is. Okay. And now, of course, they have Star Destroyers that can blow up planets. I mean, they got this fascination with blowing up planets. Okay. I mean, you would think after a while, okay, enough's enough with that. Obviously the shit don't work. You know what I mean? Y'all been trying to blow up the galaxy for 9 movies now.
But at the same time, if you're gonna be I understand the obsession with blowing up planets because that's probably the most destructive thing you can do. But at the same time, if you hold that kind of power, then like, why don't you just enslave everybody? Like I have control over all these planets in the galaxy, and these are all my slaves. Why kill them?
Yeah, I mean, just like I said, that was just done to death. They could have found some other way for the Empire to be threatening, or the First Order to be threatening. Yeah. So, that reminds me of another thing. Okay, Hux. They kill Hux and just bye. Yeah. Hux has been built up over the other 2 movies as being like this guy that everybody kind of want to see him get his comeuppance. He turns out to be a fucking mole. We already know he's a sniveling piece of shit, but he turns out being a mole, and then he just gets killed. Just okay, and that's it. There's really no build up or anything. They just kind of okay. We need to see Hux die. Okay, we'll let him die.
Yeah.
And gone.
Yeah.
That's
my
just
problem.
what?
My problem with that was this. So I kind of liked Hux. I kind of liked him. I don't know why, but I did.
He was comedic
So
relief as the bumbling, the bumbling empire person or whatever.
yeah, yeah. And the fact that he didn't like Kylo, they had this rivalry or whatever. That was interesting.
And the way Poe, Poe would kind of be like fucking with him, toying with him. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
They, my problem with them doing what they did to him is, okay, I didn't have a problem with him being the spy. I really didn't, because he hated Kylo. What he said was, I don't care if you win. I just want to see Kylo Ren lose. And I was all for that. They could have used him in some other way in the rest of the movie. And if he was going to die, he could have died like maybe Kylo could have killed him. I don't know. But they didn't have to do what they did to him. But what they ended up doing to him was, who the heck is General Pride? All of a sudden, some villain that we don't know anything about, he wasn't in any of the other movies. He just appears, he's the guy in this movie, and he kills Hux. Like, they're trying to make him out to be this Moff Tarkin character. But like, who is General Pride? Like, really? He's not imposing. He's not threatening. We don't know anything about him. How can you fear him? And he kills Hux. Just, oh, we found our spy. Like, really?
And,
that was my problem with
and on top of that, Hux was like, I'm the spy. I mean,
okay, the way he just came out like that.
Yeah, just out of nowhere.
That was meant to be funny. I was okay with that, but they should have done more with it. The whole, shoot me in the arm, and then dude shoots him in the leg, and he goes back. It's like, so they overpower me. That was kind of funny, but then he just gets killed right there. Like, that wasn't what should have happened. He should have gone with them or like escaped and done some other thing that made all of his spying worth it, Instead of, you're not important at all. This is throw you out like trash right now.
I agree. And, actually, that whole Hux scene or whatever kind of reminded me of something. Once again, when I was, an inexperienced writer and I wrote my first screenplay or whatever, right? And I'm being off subject, but this is going to tie into what we're talking about here. Anyways, and like the penultimate scene or whatever, where the killer is revealed or whatever in my first screenplay or whatever, right? Once again, it's my first full screenplay. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and I have the killer talking to the hero and basically explaining everything to him. Okay, and which is just lazy writing and exposition or whatever. It's terrible. It's terrible writing or whatever. Right? Anyways, in this scene or whatever, the killer is revealing his plan, his plot to, his nefarious plan to the hero or whatever, right? And the hero interrupts him. He tells him, "Shut up! I'm not done telling you. I'm not done telling you my plan is yet, or what I've done yet."
That's great.
It's terrible, man. Just awful. Now, I read that script. Maybe I don't know. It's been a while. I wrote it back in like the mid '90s. Whatever. I read it. And I remember being embarrassed, reading that scene like, this is just so awful. Nobody ever read it. I never tried to sell it. I knew it was terrible. So, but the General Hux thing made me think about that, where all of a sudden you're saying, "Shut up, I'm the spy." That's lazy writing. There's a million different ways you could reveal Hux to be the mole versus him just saying, "Hey, look at me, I'm the mole."
Yeah, I agree, but the fact that they did it that way was funny, and I just thought it was kind of dumb, but it was funny.
Lazy writing, man. Terrible writing.
I think it was meant to be funny.
No, there's nothing funny about it.
because what they tried to do with Hux since Last Jedi really was try to make him comic relief. The way Kylo was throwing him around the whole time in that movie, he was meant to be funny. So that right there was supposed to be like a comedic moment. And, with that in mind, I didn't think that was terrible. Now, if they were totally serious about it, like, yeah, that's garbage. Why did you do that?
Yeah, like I said, I just felt that to be incredibly lazy, and once again, it's one of the many things that took me out of the film. Because when you're watching a movie, especially a movie like this, and you start and you're thinking more about the technical aspects of it versus enjoying what you're seeing, you're in a shitty movie. Okay, where just to keep yourself engaged, you're starting, you're nitpicking the bullshit that's happening.
Uh-huh.
I mean, which is just crazy to me. Crazy to me.
Well, it's like I said. That right there, it was okay. It was the beginning of the end for Hux, for one thing. But the fact that they did that just kind of it points to other problems with the villains of this movie because, again, who is General Pride? So what they should have done was, if they probably should have made it where Hux was not the spy, and made it where he's the one who pledges like almighty allegiance to Palpatine, and he's the villain. That would have made more sense. But no, they didn't do that at all. And that you didn't have one villain that was like completely frightening and just like, I really want to see this dude die. There was not really anybody like that, and not even Palpatine. So that was a failure.
Okay, and that brings us to Palpatine. Okay, I've always whenever I hear Palpatine, I always want to say Ovaltine.
Ovaltine. I think palpitations.
Palpitations. Okay, so he's a breakfast drink that gives you a heart murmur.
Yeah.
So so Ovaltine. So she goes to confront Ovaltine.
More Ovaltine, please.
Please. do they still make Ovaltine?
Yes, they do.
They do. Okay, I'll have to get some of that. Yeah, it used to taste good back in the day, but I think nowadays they don't put sugar in anything. It probably tastes like shit.
It's just chocolate milk, It's Nesquik.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's supposed to be good for you.
Nesquik is supposed to be good for you.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Nesquik, especially the strawberry. So.
The strawberry is fantastic.
Oh yeah, love it, man, love it. So
make me sick like strawberry quick.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, back in the day, you used to buy it at school. They used to sell little packs at school. So, yeah. You put in the little half pint milk carton. You put it in there, shake it up. Ooh, boy, that's some good shit.
I might go to the store and buy some strawberry quick tomorrow.
Oh, no doubt. Do you mix? I like mixing like my chocolate milk or my strawberry quick, or whatever, with white milk.
What do you mean?
I like pour a half a cup of like regular whole milk, and then I'll pour then I'll put like half a cup of Nesquik or whatever, and just mix it together.
Oh, you mean like the bottle? I use a powder, so you can't do that. You have to put the
No, that's not what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is, like, whenever I can't drink chocolate milk straight. I gotta dilute it with like whole milk. I gotta mix it with milk.
Okay, but in order to make the chocolate milk, you have to put it in the white milk.
No. I always buy it like already in the carton.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I cut it with regular milk.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't do that because I for one thing, I don't buy the chocolate because I don't like chocolate that well to drink it like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I never bought like out of the bottle, the already made bottle. I just get the powder.
Oh yeah. I don't mix. I always buy it already, ready made or whatever. But yeah, I always cut it, with regular milk or whatever, whole milk or whatever. So that's what I do. And we told off subject. Okay, Ovaltine.
It has very, very little to do with Star Wars.
None. What's up? Wait, they could have been a sponsor. Hey, this film is brought to you by Ovaltine.
Yeah.
Palpatine's favorite drink. Palpatine, how did you get back? It's easy, my son. A daily helping of Ovaltine. It builds bones and teeth.
Which I have none of. The dark side.
Shit. If you want with the dark side, you want to be a Sith Lord, drink Ovaltine.
It must be the chocolate one.
Okay, so that brings us to Ovaltine, Palpatine, whoever the fuck, whatever you want to call it.
Emperor.
Yeah.
Ovaltine.
Yeah. So he's on this planet wherever he is or whatever, and Palpatine is he's revealed to be the obviously the puppet master of all that's been happening, whatever, which is just ridiculous. They're gonna retcon him with just the stupidest shit and not retcon Luke, but we've already been down that road.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Now my obviously I got a lot of beefs with the climax and everything, But the thing that that stood out to me once again that lets you know how bad a movie is when you're thinking about shit that you really shouldn't be thinking about. Okay, so he's on this planet and he got all the Star Destroyers and everything. Got the battle going on up above in the heavens or whatever, and he's like in this stadium or whatever. You got all these hooded Sith people or whatever. You know, A, who are they? Where they come from? And why are they just sitting there? And they got this battle going on. And he's about to, he even announces it, destroy me and whatever. These nameless, faceless people just basically just sitting there to be killed. And if he's like the only Sith, then who are these folks that's with him? And why would they be there? I'm thinking about these things. This is shit I shouldn't be thinking about.
Well, I thought about it too, but the thing about it is, okay, there are only 2 Sith Lords in existence. That's the rule of 2 for Star Wars. There are only 2 at one time. So he is the Sith Lord. There's not another that exists at this moment. The ones in that stadium were not Sith Lords. Those are loyalists. So they're probably the ones who are flying the Star Destroyers. Now, why they're just there to be killed is a mystery, but they're just there like to give him an audience.
So they basically murdered all these people.
Basically.
So the resistance or whatever, they're murderers.
Okay, sure. They're evil though, right? I mean, it's fine.
Okay.
That's what you do. You kill the evil people.
All right. So Palpatine he tells Rey, to save your friends you must kill me and then become a Sith person or whatever. Okay, makes no sense to me whatsoever. Okay, so say she kills him. Okay. You want me to kill you? Okay, fine. I'll kill your ass. Okay, that still I gotta make a choice to be a Sith. That don't make me a Sith.
No.
What?
Okay, that's not how it works.
Another thing. Okay, we find out that she's his granddaughter. Okay, so that means that her parents are his children, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this ain't one of immaculate conception type shit. All right. So her parents are actually Sith then.
No.
Because they're descendants of Sith. Now, what do you think? When you think, what?
Okay, go.
No, when you think at some point in her life, Rey would have known this. Okay,
No.
because
Sith is not a race. Sith is a
religion, or whatever, or
yes, it's a religion.
it's a dark side. It's a dark side of the Force.
Yes, you can choose to be Sith. You can choose to be Force. Or whatever.
So why would Rey choose to be Sith? You can I'll kill you, motherfucker. Just get your ass out of the way. Then I'm going to liberate the entire fucking galaxy.
But yeah. So in order for this is what he explained, and you had to kind of glean this, but this is what the whole crux of what the reason he was even still alive, I guess. The whole point, it goes back to Return of the Jedi. The reason that he kept saying, strike me down and become more powerful or whatever, it was because that's how Sith go. It wasn't, you don't choose to just become the Sith Lord. What Palpatine was doing, the reason he had even been around so long, is that whoever killed the body, he would discard that body that had been destroyed and take over that other person's body. So he was going to take over Rey's body and live on that way. That's how you become the next Sith Lord. You don't just choose to do it. So he was saying to Rey, kill me out of hatred, and that's the way that I can take over your body. You won't be you anymore. I'm going to be you in your body. That was Palpatine's plan. That's how he had even been in existence for as long as he had been, because that's what he had done over and over again.
Okay, so why do they have to strike him down for him to take over their body then?
Because they had to give themselves to the dark side.
So the only way. Okay, so to kill him means To kill him means you have to give yourself to the dark side.
You had, yes.
Okay, but she killed him.
Huh?
But she killed him anyway.
She killed him. She didn't kill him out of hatred. She had to kill him. Basically, like, yes, I guess it was a choice in a way, but it wasn't just like, if I kill you, after I kill you, I'm going to choose to be the Sith. It is, I'm choosing now to kill you, and I'm actually giving you free reign to take my body. You can't just do it. That's essentially what it was.
So why didn't he take over her body when she killed him then?
Because that wasn't her. She didn't say do it, basically.
Okay, so you see where I'm going with this, right? Because you can't answer that question.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It was half baked, but I kind of get the idea. It wasn't a full
Dude, after 9 fucking movies, you shouldn't have to get the idea. Okay. This once again, this is just retconning, and it wasn't well planned out, wasn't well thought out. Palpatine was dead and gone and forgotten. That motherfucker wasn't around. Only reason he's back is because Rian Johnson fucked everything up. That's the only reason why he's back. Because he killed Snoke.
That's actually that's all. Well, okay, yes, but it turns out that it wasn't even J.J. Abrams who wrote that. It turns out that I guess the truth of the matter is this Kathleen Kennedy person is the one who said bring back Palpatine.
But what I'm saying is, but the reasoning behind bringing back Palpatine is to basically make up for them killing Snoke, who's supposed to be the big bad.
Yeah.
Once again,
I hated that too. I absolutely hated that.
And like I said, they had to make a conscious decision, man, to kill Snoke. It wasn't just Ronnie just go shoot down on the sneak tip and say okay, and just put it in the film and tell nobody about it.
Yeah.
That had to be agreed upon.
They agreed, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I thought that was one of the dumbest things about that movie.
Yeah.
He should not have been killed like that. And I said before, likening it to like anime. When I saw that happen, if Snoke is as powerful as he was supposed to be in that movie, there's no way that Kylo would have been able to sneak and chop him in half with that sword. There's no way that could have happened.
And Palpatine would have seen that coming.
He would have just stopped it and be like, hey, what were you trying to do?
Yeah.
That's impossible. Like, that was one of the, really, that was kind of I think that was maybe the point in that movie where I was like, I'm done with it. I'm sorry, this is dumb. But the fact that they did that, it goes into another problem that I have with Kylo Ren. They should have made Kylo the big bad dude. And that's what they were setting him up to be at that moment. But they didn't do it. Now, I'll get back to him in a minute because we're talking about Palpatine. But, yeah, the whole Snoke thing that was kind of the end of it for me.
Okay. Now, finally, you bring me back to where I wanted to go at the very beginning. Or at least want to address. Okay. When you bring up Kylo Ren. Okay. I think this whole sequel trilogy failed because they picked the wrong villain. Kylo Ren should have never been... If he was going to be the big bad, Kylo Ren should not have been related to the Skywalkers. Okay? All right. And my reason behind this is that, okay, he is Han Solo and Princess Leia's son. Okay? So I knew from the moment it was revealed that he was their son, I knew that there was no way that he would be a convincing villain because you knew at some point he was going to come back to the light. You knew that. So, any film is only as good, especially this type of a film, is only as good as its villain. I've never felt threatened by Kylo Ren. I was never scared for anybody, with Kylo Ren. Because I knew he wasn't going to do nothing. Okay? All right. And the fact that he killed Han was for one reason. I knew it for one reason only. Han Solo, Harrison Ford said it himself. He wanted to be killed in The Empire Strikes Back. Okay? He said, if I'm coming back, y'all got to kill me. So I knew, before The Force Awakens even came out, I knew that Han was going to die because Harrison Ford said himself, he wanted to die. He wanted his character to die. So his death to me was, I wasn't even shocked. It was anticlimactic to me. All right. So at no point did I ever feel threatened or fear for anybody in this film series in relation to Kylo Ren. Now, and let's juxtapose that against Darth Vader, because when they originally wrote Darth Vader, he was not Luke's father. That's something, because George Lucas, he said it himself. He thought Star Wars was gonna be a fucking flop. He had no idea where he was going with this. Okay, so in that regard, they retconned Darth Vader, because everything that Obi-Wan told him about, Darth Vader killed your father and the whole nine. That's where they were actually going with it. So that was a reversal, to push the story in a different direction, obviously, with The Empire Strikes Back. Okay, so, but even that notwithstanding, I feared Darth Vader in Star Wars. I feared him in The Empire Strikes Back. And when we found out that he was Luke's father, I feared him even more. Because the way that the character had been developed up to that point, even when you find out that he's Luke's father, you still feel threatened because you still don't know how this shit's gonna play out. But with Kylo Ren, now we already know Darth Vader and how he played out. Now we already know that Kylo is going to follow the same trajectory. And if you think about it, other than the death of Han Solo, Kylo never does anything really that's that makes you feel, as a viewer, this is somebody to be reckoned with that I need to be afraid of. Now, think about it. If Kylo Ren was not related to anyone, he was just some kid who's force sensitive, who wanted to rule the galaxy, and would do anything to meet that objective, it'll make for a more compelling character, a much stronger character, especially with his powers, that dope ass saber and everything, and that mask and everything. He could have been some kid who learned about Darth Vader, like a wives' tale or something, and and envision himself being Darth Vader, and stopping at nothing to rule the galaxy, and then killing off, maybe some beloved characters along the way, like maybe killing Finn, in the battle in the forest, or
I would have hated that.
Huh?
I would have hated that.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you want, because Darth Vader killed Obi-Wan Kenobi. By the time he killed Obi-Wan Kenobi, we loved Obi-Wan. We felt that shit. It hurt. Now I know I was there. It hurt. I wanted to cry when Obi-Wan gave himself up and Darth killed him. Cold-bloodedly killed him. And Luke's like, no! I mean, that lets you know right there that Darth don't give a fuck about nobody. He'll fuck your shit up. You give him an opportunity, it's a wrap. But me, I'm speaking for myself. Me as a fan of the movies or whatever, I never felt threatened by Kylo Ren, and that just watered this shit down for me. Just watered it down. There was never a villain in this trilogy that I even thought about, being scared of. And in any movie, I need to hate that fucking villain with all my heart and soul. I gotta be like, I got to see this motherfucker die. Stringer Bell. You ever watch The Wire?
No.
Okay, but folks who've seen The Wire, by the time Stringer Bell got killed in season 3, I was like, hell yeah, kill that motherfucker, please, please. And Terminator 2, the T-1000, was it T-1000 or T-1, whatever he was. By the time you got to that climactic scene in that damn factory or whatever, please kill this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Yes. Yeah. Yes. So, I mean, think about, any movie with a big bad villain, even The Matrix, in the first Matrix, when he killed Smith, yes. Because, Smith was, ain't giving a damn, he was fucking shit up.
Yeah.
You can go through any movie, with a good villain, you feel satisfied. So in this film, when Kylo Ren finally dies, he gives himself up and he comes back, he fights, and he helps her fight Palpatine or whatever. I don't give a fuck whether she lives or dies or he lives or dies. I could give a fuck, and that to me encapsulate everything about this whole trilogy. I never gave a fuck about anything about it. I'm just watching a goddamn movie.
Yeah.
Go.
Well, yeah. So I hated Kylo Ren. He was not a good character. He was not likable. He was not fearsome. He was not even like well written. He was just there. He's the boy that people think he's good looking and they want him to hook up with Rey. And it's just okay. So I didn't have a major problem with him being the son of Han and Leia. And they really, if they were, especially the Last Jedi, if they wanted to subvert so many things, they didn't have to have him be redeemed. Yes, you knew from the beginning that it was going to happen, but it didn't have to be that way. And I hoped against hope in this movie that it would not end up that way, but I knew it was going to end up that way, and that was highly disappointing. But it wasn't really disappointing because yes, truly, I knew it was going to happen. But from the beginning, I'm like, please, 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 please defy my expectations, please. And there was really nothing about him to like or care about. He was a petulant child, over there having temper tantrums, destroying his room, yelling, caressing Darth Vader's helmet, and this terrible character essentially was single-handedly the reason that the three main characters of the original trilogy died. It was his fault. He did it. So then it was like, shouldn't he really come up with he should end in a horrible way. But instead they want to give him a redemption arc. And I didn't think that was effective. I didn't think it was necessary. They could have made him up to be like a really horrible, unlikable villain. He could have actually, when he killed Snoke, he could have actually been so overcome with evil that he like transformed to something and became something else. And it could have been like a tragic villain. Like he could have been good because he's the child of these heroes, but instead he went in the wrong path, and he is the penultimate dark side villain, I guess. He's the one who became so encompassed with the dark side that there was no coming back for him. And they really could have done that. But instead, nope, you pretty much knew the whole time he's talking to Rey, actually giving away plot points in his in their little interactions that needed to be built up. Like telling her who her parents really were. That just all of a sudden it just came out and it wasn't built up. Like they really just like used his character in a really dumb way. And then the fight on the out there in the water or whatever at the Death Star, he should have died there. There shouldn't have been a redemption point at that moment. He should have been killed. Like when she killed him originally, instead of healing him, he should have just died. That should be the end of him. But nope, they didn't do that. So then they could have made it where, he's like, I killed my father. I'm just going all the way with it. And he's the villain at the end of the movie. He strikes down Palpatine and is the villain at the end. But that didn't happen either. So I just, and then they put over the whole Reylo thing. I knew that she was going to kiss the man. I knew that when she's all like, I wanted to take your hand, but I wanted to take Ben's hand. Okay, first off, what in their interactions made Rey fall in love with him? why does she like him at all? He's not good. He doesn't show any good in him at all. Why does she like him? The whole time he's trying to convince her to go to the dark side. And he's killing people. What makes her like him? Nothing. Why doesn't she love Finn? The guy who's given his whole life to chase after her.
Right.
Yeah. The whole time. You think this man yells like gives himself laryngitis because he feels like we're just the best of friends? He's in love with you. Why don't you love him back? No, you love this other guy who has shown they've not been together in any moment that made them. They had no moment of you're a good person. I really like you.
Well, the preacher's daughter always loved the biker dude, so
Okay, that's okay. Whatever, but it's all the more stupid.
Yeah.
It is so stupid. Like he should not have had a redemption arc. He was a terrible, horribly written, horribly acted. Well, I guess he wasn't acted that horribly, but he was a terribly written character. He was underutilized. They didn't give him a real arc. He didn't have a real. The whole time in all these movies, he's going around trying to find things and having these little forced conversations and killing a few people. And he had a good fight in the first movie, and he was determined to be the most evil dude in the galaxy at the end of The Last Jedi, but that didn't happen either. And then he's subservient to Palpatine, but he's vowing to not follow him. He's doing his own thing. For some reason, he wants Rey to come over to his side, and they're going to do what together? I don't know, have sex, I guess. But that's not what he was. He didn't say that, So, I don't know. Him coming back and like helping her win at the end, I was just like, no, this is the end of the movie, and this needs to go ahead and go off because they didn't do the right thing here. He was not, again, he wasn't a fearsome villain. He wasn't somebody you even wanted to see succeed. I don't know why people wanted him to have a romance with Rey so bad, but I didn't feel that at all. Like what I felt was, you could make him the ultimate villain, or you could just kill him right now and make Palpatine the ultimate villain. And they didn't do that. So, yeah, that's my issue with Kylo Ren. I hate him. Now okay. I'm going to segue into Palpatine.
Oh, hold on a second. Let me rebut something real fast, or let me fix something. Okay, I lied a little bit. Okay, I was scared of Kylo Ren for a second. I was scared of him in the very first scene of The Force Awakens when they come to that planet and they kill everybody. Because at that moment we knew nothing about Kylo. We know who he was or what he represented.
Yeah.
He was a threat then. When he stopped that damn blaster in midair, and killed Max von Sydow, the old feeble man, I'm like, okay, this motherfucker's gangster. Now, that Kylo Ren, that's who I needed the entire series. That's who I needed. I didn't need him to be a Skywalker or a Solo or whatever the hell he was. I needed him to be that dude. Okay? Because that dude was threatening. At the very beginning, that dude was a fucking threat.
Yeah.
Okay?
I agree.
But they neutered him. They cut his balls off. They neutered him. And like I said, after that, he was nothing. Okay, now go ahead with your thought.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to that. You're right. But again, I don't care anything about him being a Solo Skywalker anything. What he needed to be was the one who couldn't be redeemed. Like he was just so all in of the dark side that there was no coming back for him. He could have been the tragic enemy. He really could have been. So it was a failure. But segueing into Palpatine. So this is one of the things I really did like about the movie. There were a lot of things in this movie that were designed extremely well. Extremely well. And before I say Palpatine, I'm going to say that Zori character on that cold planet who Poe had history with, the girl in the mask.
Mm-hmm.
Her character was so designed, like her design was so great. That was awesome. They
You
showed
know
nothing
what?
with her.
You know, I know nothing about her. I slept through her. So,
You were asleep.
yeah.
Yeah. What you revealed here is that you fell asleep when they were in the desert and woke up
Hmm.
when Rey's fighting Kylo, and that was nearly at the end.
Yeah.
So you missed a great deal of the movie.
Yeah, I did.
So anyway, there's this character Zori, this woman in this gold and red and black suit with this amazing looking helmet. Such a great design. She looks so cool, and you never see her face. That she looked awesome. So a lot of the design in this movie was wonderful. They really did a good job. But whoever came up with these enemy and character designs they did a great job. So I'll go on to Palpatine and say Palpatine looked awesome too. Like he was in the shadows for a great deal of the movie, but what you could see of him looked great. He had no eyes and had these black lips and he's missing fingers and he's like connected to this crane thing and this machine with these pipes and these wires and things. He looked amazing. Like he really looked imposing and just like, I mean, he looked kind of feeble, but he looked like you can tell he still has power. Like he's a threat. Like
You know who he reminded me of? He reminded me of what's his name from Toe Cutter, not Toe Cutter. What was his name? Not Toe Cutter. From Fury Road. What was his name?
I never saw that movie.
Oh, God, what was his name?
I
Shit.
really want to see it, but I've never seen it.
I'm gonna look it up. Go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
I was just saying he looked amazing. Like he really, really, really. They did a great job with the way he looked, and I was really hoping for more out of him because you have a villain that looks like that, and the whole room with the Sith loyalists in that room, they set that up for a great final battle. They really did. So the whole time they were in that room and they were showing Palpatine, I was like, okay, this movie's faltering a bit, but I'm looking forward to a great climax. Like if nothing else, we're gonna have a great fight scene at the end here. And then when Rey actually comes face to face with him.
Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. Let me cut you off. The big bad guy from Fury Road is Immortan Joe. A great character name. Anyways, go ahead.
Morton Joe.
Immortan Joe.
Huh?
Immortan Joe. Immortan Joe. That was his name.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
But the guy who played Immortan Joe was the same guy that played Toe Cutter in Mad Max. So.
Okay. Great.
I guess you never seen Mad Max either, then, huh?
Yeah, I haven't seen Mad Max in many, many, many years.
Okay, the bad guy in Mad Max was Toe Cutter. The same actor that played Toe Cutter is the same guy who was Immortan Joe.
Okay, well that's cool.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, I've seen the second Mad Max more than I have the first one.
Road Warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah, great, great.
And I haven't seen Fury Road, and one day I'm gonna watch it.
You need to, man. It was great.
But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so the climax of the movie, I'm really one thing that I like in any kind of action movie is a great final battle, and they set it up for that, for Palpatine and the whole strike against the Final Order forces that they had. That seemed to be kind of cool. Everybody comes out to take down all these Star Destroyers and TIE fighters and things, and they were getting taken out. And you kind of felt for them, and there was some tension, but it still left something to be desired. But then you have the whole thing with Palpatine down there, and Rey coming in and fighting him off. Now, of course, there's the conflict she's having about, I'm not going to turn, I'm just going to kill you. And then he's like, well, if you don't kill me and take my place, I'm going to just kill all your friends. And at this time, he's literally killing everybody. Like, he does, I don't know how he got so much power to do this amazing Force lightning blast, but he's literally killing everybody in the air. Like, everybody flying around that area, he's killing everybody. And that's what convinces Rey, okay, I agree, I'm going to go ahead and do what you say.
Okay, let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. He ain't killing nobody important.
No, he killed.
he ain't killing Finn. He ain't killing
No,
Poe. You know what I'm
no, he
saying?
ain't killing Finn.
He ain't killing Chewie.
But guess
So
what?
so the folks that he's killing, the folks that we don't give a shit about anyway.
Hey, supposedly he killed Nien Nunb, though.
Oh yeah, I mean that's yeah okay, but that's not a character that is important to.
He may not be important, but he was, he was Lando's partner.
Yeah, I mean he's a cool character, whatever. Yeah, we know him from the from the original trilogy or whatever, right? But he's not somebody that ooh damn they killed what's his name Nimrod or whatever. You know what I mean?
But they
No.
killed when they killed Akbar in Last Jedi. That was a horrible moment.
Once again, but those are peripheral characters that
Yeah, but they're characters that really mean a lot to Star Wars fans.
But yeah, they might mean a lot to the fans, but they're not important to the story. Their deaths have nothing to do with the overall arc of the story.
Well, yeah, right. So I'm not saying that what he was doing was like, we really need to kill this man. I hate him. It wasn't like that. Because you're right.
Okay, like for example, if he killed Rose, would you really care?
Yeah, I would have actually, because I actually did like Rose. I did. I would have cared. Yeah.
Yeah, but it would not ruin the movie for you. That's what I'm saying. But if he had killed Finn, then oh damn, this motherfucker serious.
Yeah.
So the ships, just like in the original Star Wars or whatever, right? And the attack on the Death Star or whatever, right? Everybody got shot down except for Luke. You didn't care about nobody. You felt bad. Oh, damn, the rebels getting killed left and right. But you ain't like okay, and I mean, big deal. You sad that they're getting killed, but they're not resonating with the story. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I didn't say they were. I'm just saying it's happening, right?
But you talking about? They're killing all her friends. They ain't her fucking friends. You don't know who them people are. She don't give a shit. She don't even give a damn about Finn. Ray. She don't give a shit. Ray don't care about nobody but Ray.
I agree. But,
okay.
And Kylo. But first off, I don't know why you felt like you needed to imitate my voice like that. I didn't like it. But anyway, when I say killing all her friends, I mean like that was the reason that she supposedly, agreed to take Palpatine's place. Yes, she agreed. That because she was like, I don't want people to die. I'm not saying I cared. I'm saying supposedly she cared. Supposedly, okay. My whole point of saying any of this is the final battle is horrible and anticlimactic. There is no great saber battle at the end. The only thing that Palpatine does is force lightning. You would think this man would have like the ultimate moves, like I am the Lord of the Sith. I can do all kinds of things that you've never seen before.
Well, he did that in Revenge of the Sith when he fought Yoda.
I'm talking about now. He was young when he fought Yoda. I'm talking about now.
Oh yeah, he was 900 when he fought Yoda.
Yeah, he was. But I mean, like, supposedly at this point he had drained like the power of Rey and Kylo because they were trying to stand against him. So now he regained his power. So you would expect him to do more than force lightning. And all he did was stand there and do this lightning garbage. You think he would have learned after Mace Windu reflected that lightning and messed his face up in Episode 3. So kind of weird. But just to cap it off, we get a very anticlimactic final battle that I don't really understand. Rey channels all the Jedi and uses their power to overpower Palpatine and kills him. Now, at first, she can't do it. She's just like, I cannot fend off this dude's power. But all of a sudden, she gets a second lightsaber, and somehow she's like mega powerful and can beat him. What kind of power up is two lightsabers? Explain that to me. I don't get that one.
Is a convenience in the screenplay. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
But it didn't make any sense. Any sense.
No.
Now, for this movie to be the supposedly final Star Wars movie, and to be, the fight to end all fights, why didn't we have a satisfying final battle? You know, one thing I can say about Revenge of the Sith is that the final battle in that movie was fantastic. I can actually watch that fight and not watch the rest of the movie.
talking about the fight
Like
between
Obi-Wan
Obi-Wan and
and
Anakin.
yes,
It was straight.
that was,
It don't hold up under several viewings, but yeah, it was fine.
no, I mean I think it's comparable to the Qui-Gon and Darth Maul.
I hate you. I hate you.
That right there was the moment when Hayden Christensen learned to act.
I hate you. No, man, get the hell out of here.
I actually felt that. You know, I was happy that it was happening to him, but because I hated that character and I hated him as an actor. But that right there was satisfying.
Oh, by the way, since you brought it up, the greatest lightsaber scene in the history of Star Wars, Darth Vader at the end of Rogue One. Okay, so let's just put that fallacy to bed. The Duel of the Fates was great, but what Darth Vader did at the end of Rogue One, that is one of the most magnificent scenes in the history of film. That was otherworldly. I can watch it over and over again. So
Okay,
go ahead.
You know, I've only seen it once. I thought Rogue One was fantastic, but I've only seen it once.
Oh man, seriously, you know what I'm talking about. So
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
God, and you know that was a reshoot, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But what does that have to do with anything?
No, what I'm saying is Tony Gilroy, who took over the film, he was an uncredited director. Anyway, when he took over the film, he's like, there's something missing. So he wrote that scene. So they did that in reshoots with Darth.
Really?
It wasn't part of the original film,
Well,
and that made the film. So
Well, I don't know if it made the film.
yes, it did.
Well,
Don't get me started.
that was the end of the movie. So I mean, nearly everything up to that point was great. I
Yeah.
really liked.
I like Rogue One too. Yeah, I like it a lot.
So I can't say that made the film.
Well, I'm saying it.
We're talking about the Rise of Skywalker, but I will say the one thing that I really hated about Rogue One
What?
was the fact that they were so resigned to their death. They're gonna stand there and hold hands and watch a mushroom cloud. Really?
Well, they knew they couldn't get off the planet. They knew it was over, so we might as well sit here and hug it out for the last time.
Yeah, let's hug it out. Let's actually watch the thing happen.
Yeah.
Let's just, fear. Nobody's gonna stand there and look at a mushroom cloud like that. You see it coming. You're like, okay, I guess we're gonna die. Nothing we can do. Nobody's gonna just stand there and do that.
Well, they did the exact same thing. You ever see Deep Impact?
No.
Okay, Tia Leone and her dad, played by Maximilian Schell. Okay, they're standing on the beach, and the meteor has hit the Earth, and it created this huge tidal wave. And they know it's over, so they stand there on the beach, hugging each other, watching the tidal wave come in and wash over them. So there's a precedent for it.
Well, that movie's probably whack. I don't want to deal with it.
No. Deep Impact was pretty good. It was better than Armageddon. So I highly recommend. You hadn't seen it, I recommend it.
I don't like disaster movies.
Well, like I say, it's a disaster movie with heart. So it's much better than Armageddon. It wasn't just popcorn. It actually was a heart-rending story involved. So anybody listening out there, check out Deep Impact. Go ahead.
I will take your word for it. So anyway, that was a little aside.
Yeah.
But anyway, my whole point is that it was the end of the movie was highly unsatisfactory because what you want at the end of something like that, of an action movie, is a great action sequence. And the last saber duel in this entire movie is with Kylo and Rey on that at the Death Star there, and that was also not a good fight. There was really no tension to it, and it was disjointed. It just wasn't even choreographed that well. So this movie didn't have any good saber scenes in it. It really didn't, and that was one of the most disappointing things to me. When I watch an action movie, especially a martial arts movie or a movie that's inspired by martial arts in any kind of way, what I want to see is a great martial arts fight at the end, and I didn't get it, and I wanted to kick somebody in the face because I'm like, I sat here to see somebody win by using two lightsabers. Like, that's not what I wanted. So that was a very unsatisfying end to this film. action wise.
I agree. Okay. Now that brings us to the last topic I want to touch on before we get into our wrap up here. Um, the return of Lando Calrissian. Why? Yeah, I mean, that was fan service. It was just okay. We've had everybody else in the film. We might as well have Lando. So here we go. I mean, there was this just unnecessary to me. Now let me take that back. I don't want to be the get off my lawn type of guy. It felt great to see Lando again. It felt great to see Billy D. Williams in a big role again. They pay maybe his last big role before he dies. It was good to see that. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna shit all over it, but you know, I just felt that his inclusion in film at this point was just unnecessary, and they had to find a way to incorporate him into it. Then they're gonna build this little subplot or whatever of the girl, the black girl, the horse girl, possibly being related to him or whatever. And why even open up that can of worms, knowing this is the last movie? We ain't gonna see that bitch again. Let's see, you don't mean to call her a bitch, but
they did that to open up for a spinoff. There's going to be some sort of spinoff.
Okay, so you're gonna create a character nobody gives a shit about, and you create this character in the last third of the fucking film, okay? And all of a sudden you gonna spin off for what? Ain't no connection. Nobody give a damn about her whatsoever.
Nope, they sure don't.
No,
but they did that because Lando has a daughter. Yay.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they wanted.
Exactly.
That's what they wanted to do.
Exactly.
So yeah, I agree. It was garbage. They shouldn't have done it.
And Lando, 800 years old. What are you doing with a 15-year-old daughter? Well, how old she old? Who the hell was he fucking?
I didn't even think about that, really.
Exactly.
I was thinking of the age.
Exactly. He old as hell. So he out there in the galaxy just smashing.
Well, supposedly he was a lusty Lothario. So.
Yeah, I know, but still. Nah, I can't see his old dried up Colt 45 drinking ass being at the, meet somebody at the cantina or whatever somewhere on Potpourri, on the in the Potpourri galaxy or whatever.
well, I mean, supposedly, he said himself he was out there hitting aliens, not just like women, aliens. Some of them men, some of them women. So, some of them asexual.
Yeah, why gotta be the black character slinging dick all over the galaxy? Creating, illegitimate children.
Because, racism. We've already established that.
Exactly.
The movie's kind of Star Wars.
So they're gonna make Lando the deadbeat dad.
yeah. But actually, they're deadbeat dads all through this. A lot of people throwing their kids away, supposedly to protect them, but really it's because they didn't want to be parents. It's happening all over Star Wars.
Yeah, but why don't we make the black guy? Like I said, I ain't feeling that.
I'm not me either. But again, why they have to put the black guy with the Asian girl and not the white girl?
Yeah, exactly.
But that is, it's ridiculous. And then why they have to pair up the black guy and the black girl near the end? Like they didn't really get together, but you saw what they were trying to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So racism is a thing, and if people don't think that it's real, then you have a problem. You're in denial because it's there. It's plain and clear.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Okay, go ahead.
So yeah, I didn't like Lando's inclusion either, but he didn't have really a big part. Like I said, he came in and he told them, about this dude who had these artifacts and where to find them, and that was his purpose. That was his purpose for the entire movie. He didn't do anything else, and then he shows up at the end to help, and he's flying ships, and he wins, and then at the end there he's sitting down. General, tell me about your life. Oh, I'm nobody. Oh.
What really would have been more believable. You'd be like, bitch, I don't know you. Why you all up in mine? Why you asking questions about me? Why you could have been like Robert De Niro in Heat. Why you so interested in what it is and what I do?
Yeah, he could have, but he's not that kind of guy.
Yeah.
What really made more sense, what would would have made more sense at that moment would have been, well, I can tell you all about myself. Let's go. Let's go in the back room.
Yeah. I'll show you.
Let's go celebrate.
Yeah, show not tell. Let me show you.
Yeah, that would have made more sense.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that. So that was, yeah. Lando was a throwaway nostalgia character, and they should have done it. And you know, a lot of it was nostalgia, and I wouldn't say that it relied on it so much as they just kind of had to do it. You know, Force Awakens was more nostalgic than this one, but they put familiar faces in it just because they knew people wanted to see it. You know, and essentially that's why Palpatine was the villain of this too, because they wanted the villain to be somebody people knew, and I thought that was unnecessary. But logically and money wise, I get it. It's just I don't think that's what they should have done.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we're at 2 hours and 10 minutes and counting. Okay. So we've been through the entire film. So we kind of talked about, you know, the things we like, dislike, the whole nine. Whatever. Obviously.
Well, wait a minute. I do want to say, I want to continue. There's one more thing.
Go ahead, man. Do your thing. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I don't mind this so much. The actual end of the film, with her taking the Skywalker name and her burying the...
Oh yeah. Hold. Yeah, thank you for bringing that back for me. Okay, let me drop this in before I forget. Okay, so she goes back to Tatooine. Okay, back to Luke's farm, and some old dried up, crusty looking witch show up asking questions. What? Okay, riding a camel. What the fuck it is she was riding? Who is this? Why are you here? Okay, you just show up out of nowhere, asking all these goddamn questions. Bitch, I've been out here fighting the goddamn galaxy. Now you questioning me? I owe you an explanation about any fucking thing? Who the fuck is you? That was so fucking contrived, man. It's just something they just...
Contrived, but...
Oh my god.
It was contrived, but I mean, you know why they did it, but the only reason, the thing about it is, it's somewhat believable that this woman is there because, okay, so there are some houses out there, right? And she's roaming around. She's not just like, she just happened upon this girl. Because she comes out and says, I don't see a lot of people out here. It's been a long time since I've seen anybody out here. Who are you? You know, apparently she lives out there. So if you're somebody who just lives out there, like in the middle of nowhere by yourself, basically, and you see somebody all of a sudden, like a young girl, like, you will want to know why this person's here. So, I mean, I get that.
No, I'm like, bitch, why you so nosy? Like once again, I'm going to take it back to heat. Lady, why are you so interested in what it is and what I do? Or who I am or what I do?
She really could have been like, that's actually my land, girl. You're supposed to come here. If you don't leave right now, I'm going to put a hole in you. She could have done that. She could have done that.
Yeah, you hit ass with some force lightning.
That could have been within her right. You know? The truth of the matter is, people do that all the time. Here in Georgia, people are like, I don't like these niggers on my land, and then they start shooting. That could have been her doing that. Really. She could have been like, you're in this house, that's actually my house. Why are you here? Who are you? She could have done that. So, it's kind of believable.
Okay, go ahead.
But my point of bringing it up entirely is, you know, the rise of Skywalker, you know, that's a loose tie-in to the actual title of the movie. And, you know, she's taken on her supposed adoptive parent's name. She doesn't want to take on the name of Palpatine. She doesn't want to just be Rey anymore. She has a sense of purpose now and a family. She is Rey Skywalker. People hated that. You know, I'm kind of indifferent to it.
Okay, that's like me saying, you know, saying fuck it. You know, I'm gonna go to Minneapolis, okay, and stand in front of Paisley Park. Somebody come to me, hey, who are you? I'm Alonzo. Alonzo what? Nelson. The fuck?
It's not quite the same because you didn't have a connection to Prince at all. Like,
what you mean? I don't have a connection to Prince, motherfucker?
Prince didn't train you, did he? You know.
She is not related by blood to anybody named Skywalker. Okay.
No, but she took on the name because she felt like this is my adopted family.
No.
It's kind of like Finn. Finn didn't have a name; he had a number. So he took on the name that Poe gave him based on his number. Finn could be like, "That's not my name, dude."
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna go to Washington D.C. You know what I'm saying, in front of the White House. Who are you, Alonzo? Alonzo who? Trump.
People do that.
I feel a connection. I feel a connection.
I guarantee you, people do that. In fact, I remember reading something saying, Donald Trump is my father.
But that could possibly be true though.
Well, it could be. It's just not. Like
I know.
But people do that. In regard to a fictional character in an action movie, I've seen a lot of things like this, and people do it all the time. So I'm not worried about that. People hated that because it was so loose to the title. It was like they had to shoehorn something in about the rise of Skywalker because this was the rise of a Palpatine. But personally, it didn't hurt my feelings. I was okay with that. And actually, I kind of liked the whole burying of the sabers. I kind of liked that. That was nice. I was okay with it. I was not hurt by the end of the movie. I was just like, it's time to go home because, it was not a satisfying movie overall.
Yeah. And we know in 10 years when they do, episode 1 of the new series, a new saga or whatever, some of those snot-nosed kids is gonna dig up those damn sabers. Come on. Yeah. I mean, whatever.
That's going to happen, yes. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
And Rey will show up as a disgruntled woman, and she's going to be, what are you doing here, kid?
Who are you?
And the person's going to say, John, and she's going to say, John who? John Skywalker. I'm like, no, you're not. I'm Rey Skywalker. And that's going to be the movie.
Exactly. They're going to fight and, and they're going to stab her in the eye and whatever and shit.
Yeah. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, that should be that one-eyed bitch flying across the galaxy trying to find.
Yeah.
Call her Patch Eye.
And she's gonna.
It's gonna be Star Wars: The Rise of Patch Eye.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, you're gonna want Rey to come back and be this super powerful Jedi because they made her be the most powerful Jedi that ever lived in this trilogy, right? So then because she's a Mary Sue. That's why. That's what she is.
Yes.
But at the same time, I mean, you can call her that all day long.
That's what she is. I mean, call her that. That's what she is, nigga.
Okay. Okay. That term doesn't have anything to do with what they did. What they did was they made her the most powerful Jedi that ever lived. Okay.
She didn't earn anything. She's a Mary Sue. She's infallible.
Hey, I'm not saying that she earned it. I'm saying that's what they made her into. She didn't deserve it, but that's what they made her be, right? So I'm saying the fact that they made her that. In the future, you're gonna want her to live up to that, and she's not going to. Is what I was gonna say.
No, Luke was a scared kid who made mistakes. Okay, he wasn't a Mary Sue or a Michael Sue, whatever you want to call it. He wasn't one of those. I mean, and basically, Rey is basically the female Luke Skywalker. I mean, so if you're gonna pattern her after him, why make her a Mary Sue? That's what I'm saying.
Because that's what they wanted to do, and it ain't good, but that's what they did. So I mean, whatever. People throw that term around because they want to sound smart because they know terms for these types of characters. But in the grand scheme of things, that doesn't really mean much. People who wrote the movie wanted her to be to come over as someone who's somewhat invincible and can do all things. So the first. If you think about what Star Wars is, yes, everybody loves Star Wars, from the young and old, but what it is now is they're not thinking so much about the old. They're like, young people don't want to see young people fail. So that's why they did that. They made both her and Finn be characters who could not fail. Because that's what young people want this day and age. And that's not really good in a story like this, but that's what they wanted, that's what we got. And we can be mad about it all day, but they made money off of doing that.
Whatever, man. All right.
Whatever.
She's a Mary Sue. All right. So that brings us to where we are now. All right. So obviously, like I said before, obviously I don't buy. If anybody's listening, been listening to us for the last 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 19 minutes, they're going to understand the fact that you and I both dislike this film. I think this film fucking sucked. I think it sucked ass. I thought it was an incoherent mess of a film with no it had no flow to the plot. It poorly developed new characters who were introduced just as plot devices to push it along. I feel like it was a cash grab. That's all it was. That played on our nostalgia. Okay, and this film didn't know where it was going because it had no place to go. Thanks once again to Rian Johnson, who basically torpedoed the entire sequel trilogy with his film, and this is a feeble attempt by J.J. Abrams to try to put some coherence into something that started off so well with The Force Awakens, and I think in that regard he did as best as he could, I suppose. No, he didn't do as good as he could. Damn, fuck that. He ain't getting a pass on this. No, it was a cash grab built on fan service, and I was very disappointed. I haven't been this disappointed in a movie in a long time. And if it was a lesser film, what I mean lesser film, if it was something wasn't from a franchise that I cared about, I probably would have got up and walked out after I woke up. But that just tells you once again how bad I felt this film was, that I slept through a great chunk of it and still remember enough of it to know it was a piece of shit.
Okay, well, my final synopsis of it is not exactly the same. First off, you hated it, and you had these strong feelings about it, but you truly did not see the whole movie. So while you are right about a lot of it,
hey, dude, if a song is bad, do you need to hear all of it to know it's bad?
I usually do listen to entire songs.
But like I said, when you hear a song and after the first 40 seconds or so, you listening to it, you know this song ain't about shit. Do you have to listen to the rest of it to know that it ain't about shit?
Most of the time I do. Actually.
I mean, if you're eating something, okay, if you order a sandwich and you bite into it and the sandwich tastes like shit, are you gonna eat the rest of the sandwich? No, you're gonna throw it away. You don't need no more because you already know it tastes like shit.
Well, that's not entirely true because it really depends on the person.
So you telling me if you eat something and it tastes horrible, it tastes like stir fried ass, you eat it anyway?
If it tastes that bad, no. But
exactly. Movie, so why would you take another bite? Why would you take another bite? No, why would you take another bite of stir fried ass when you know it tastes bad?
Because this movie is not the equivalent of that.
No, but once again, it's the same scenario though, man. If you know it's bad,
it's not because no, it's not because okay. First off, what I said was my synopsis of the movie is not the exact same as yours. You hated it, but I did not hate it. Personally, my thought about this movie is it was not a good movie, but it wasn't terrible. It wasn't bad. It actually was a decent action movie, but it was a horrible Star Wars movie, and it was better than Last Jedi. That is my synopsis of it. I'm not going to say this all-encompassing answer of it was a terrible movie and it was garbage altogether. I don't feel that way. So I've several times I've eaten meals that I didn't think were that great, but I ate anyway because I was hungry and it was food. Okay. I don't like to throw away food because it's food. If it's really so terrible that I can't eat it, yes, I will throw it away. But if it's just like kind of bland, and I bought it, I'm probably gonna eat the whole thing because I spent my money on it. Whether as long as it's not gonna make me sick, and I'm not like, God, this is terrible. I'm gonna vomit. Okay. So in regard to this movie, it was bland, and there were things about it I didn't like, but it didn't make me vomit. I didn't hate it in that regard where I just can't stand it and I leave. It was a decent action movie, a terrible Star Wars movie. That's all that I will say about that. Eating a really, really bad tasting sandwich is not the same as watching this movie.
I disagree. Okay, so, the movie sucked ass.
So what you're saying is that every movie that starts out badly, you turn it off. Right?
No, I didn't say that. Dude.
You equate eating a terrible sandwich eating part of a terrible sandwich to watching the beginning of a terrible movie.
Dude,
That's what you equated it to.
dude. Okay, I've seen more movies than you have. I've forgotten about more movies than you probably ever seen in your lifetime. Okay.
Okay,
All right,
that means
all right.
a whole lot, right?
Oh yeah, it means a lot because I know a bad movie when I see one. Okay, now, let me quantify. No, shut up. Let me quantify.
This movie to a terrible
No, let me quantify. Let me quantify. Okay, let me quantify. All right, all right. I love movies. Okay, I'll sit through a bad movie even though I know it's bad. Okay, and I watch movies, even bad movies, hoping that it'll get better, knowing, in my heart of hearts, that no matter what happens, this movie's not gonna get any better. But since I paid my money, and I brought my ass out here to this theater, I've taken time out of my day, I'm gonna sit here and watch it. I'm gonna sit through it. Okay, I don't think I've never been to a movie in my lifetime that was so bad that I walked out of it. Okay, I've seen movies that have been absolutely horrible, but I give every movie a chance. Okay, even if it's terrible, I'll sit through it. But I'll be sitting there watching it, knowing all along this movie is a piece of shit. Okay, and that's how I felt watching The Rise of Skywalker, because I saw through it. I know exactly what they were trying to do, and I hate feeling manipulated. Now, we talked about this before, like with Thriller. When we reviewed Thriller, okay? I felt manipulated by Thriller because I knew it was a con job, okay? Even though there's great songs on Thriller, all in all, in its heart of hearts, it's a con job. It's a mediocre record with 4 great songs surrounded by shit. It's a shit sandwich, okay? And that is what Rise of Skywalker is. It's a shit sandwich. You put in characters that we love, people that we've connected with, that we want to see how it plays out. Okay, so fan service. You give the fans everything that they've kind of longed for, but you surround it with a bunch of shit. Okay, and you can put a pile of shit on the table, garnish it, put rice and veggies around it, and put everything nice around it, and make it look pretty as hell. Okay, but when you bite into it, it's still shit, and you know it's shit. And the people that served it to you, they know it's shit.
Okay.
Okay.
So what you're saying is, okay, was this a bad movie overall?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Disconnected from Star Wars, this was a terrible movie.
What?
Disconnected from Star Wars, this was a terrible movie.
Disconnected from Star Wars, it's a bad movie. But being part of the Star Wars universe, it's a terrible movie because of what it represents. Okay? It represents something more. This ain't just some movie about some Joe Blow that you've never heard of before. Okay? This is a movie that means something to a lot of people.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
Okay? So it has a greater responsibility than, just some throwaway action flick. Okay?
Okay, but if you think about
they owe us something. They owe us a debt. Okay? Because we're the ones who spend our fucking money and put billions of dollars in these motherfuckers' pockets. They owe us something. Okay, we earned the right. We earned the right to have a good fucking end to this goddamn saga. We earned it.
Do you really think they care about what people want?
No, I know they don't give a fuck, man. I obviously don't give a fuck. Obviously.
Do you think anybody cares what anybody wants?
No. But you see, but once again, even if you don't give a good goddamn. Okay? You don't give a good goddamn. There's still an obligation. Okay? There's still an obligation because at the end of the day, these folks are artists. J.J. Abrams is an artist. Okay? Billy D. Williams is an artist. Everybody involved in this film, from the key grip to the fucking director to the producer, they're all artists. Okay? They're artists. Their art makes them a lot of money. But at the end of the day, they're still artists. And when it comes to art, you have a debt. You owe the people that, you're an artist. You know what I'm talking about. As an artist, you have an obligation.
Yo. As an artist.
What?
As an artist, you actually don't owe anybody anything. You owe yourself something.
That is a lie. That is an out and out lie.
No,
Okay?
it's not. No,
Yeah, it
it's not.
is.
No. As an artist, you actually don't owe anybody anything because you're the one creating it. You don't really have to share your art with anybody. If you do, sure, you want people to accept it. You want people to like what you gave them. but you don't really owe anybody anything. The moment you start doing art for somebody, and you feel like you owe somebody something, you're not making your art anymore. So what you're saying here in this regard, the people who made this movie didn't make art. They made something for people, and that's not art. It is not art because you're not putting yourself into it. You're doing what people want. And really, in that regard, I can give it to Ryan Johnson, because Ryan Johnson tried to make art, and people hated it. And he was happy with it. To this day, he's happy with it because he made the art that he wanted to make. People just didn't like what he gave them, me included. And that's fine. That's fine. An artist actually does not owe anybody anything but themselves because it's for them. Now, when it comes to somebody making a movie, you better not be an artist. You better make what the person wants. And that's the failure of this movie and The Last Jedi for that matter, because artists were not involved in it, and they made something bad.
All right, now let me shoot.
No, I'm still talking. If artists, what happened in this movie is artists did not come together to make art and make something great. They made money. They came together to make something that will make money, and that is not good. True artists did not come together to make a great story and a great time for people watching it, and they cannot feel good about it themselves. They probably do not. J.J. Abrams has come out and say, well, you know, we made these mistakes because the artist did not make art. He made something he knew was going to make money, and he knew people hated it, and he felt bad about himself because he knew he didn't put his all into it. So you cannot say that the artist owe anybody anything because artists didn't make anything. The people who made this movie are the ones who owe people something because they were not actually truly making art. They made something that, well, they were trying to sap money out of people, and that's the bad part of it.
Okay, now can I shoot a hole in your whole theory right now?
You're not going to, but go for it.
One bit.
Because I'm the freaking artist right now, okay? So I know what I'm talking about. The artist does not owe the user or whatever anything. That's like saying, you know, the guy who makes Mario games deserves, he has to make a great Mario game because that's what people expect out of him. No, he could make something that he thought was truly true to Mario, and just people say, hey, this is not Mario. Like, it's Mario because I made it. This is Mario. I don't care what you say. In that regard, you can say the people who say Star Wars shouldn't have black people in it, you know, the main character of Star Wars shouldn't be a woman. That means that those people who feel that way, you owe them a main character who's not black and who's not a woman. And that's not the same. So go ahead and put a hole in my argument, but you can't do it because you're not going to. But the thing is, it's hard to actually convince you of anything, but go for it. Go for it.
Okay, so since you're the artist and everything, and obviously, you know, you have your games, and obviously you got your anime that you do, and your books and everything. Okay, all right. So you don't do that for nobody but yourself.
Keep going.
I'm asking you. You don't do that for anybody but yourself.
I sure don't.
Then why in the fuck? Then why in the fuck are you trying to sell it?
Because I want people to like what I make.
Oh, what was that? What was that? What did you just say? What did you just say? Did you not just contradict yourself, nigga?
I did not. I did not.
You said you want you want people to like it.
No. I didn't contradict myself. Let me explain it. I make what I make because I like it. I sit here every day and I play the game that I'm making, and I like what I'm making. Do I want other people to like it? Yes. Is my heart going to be broken if they do not? To some extent, because I gave a piece of myself away. Yes, absolutely. But am I making this game strictly for other people? Nope. I'm doing it because I've always wanted to make a video game. I'm doing it because I like video games. I like my art. I like what I'm doing. I'm making this thing. I've spent this time doing it for me. I do want people to partake of it. I want people to enjoy it. I want people to accept what I've made as a thing that I've made, and I want them to like it. If they don't like it, oh, that kind of sucks. But I'm truly not sitting here making something that everybody else wants. Because if I did, I wouldn't be making a 2D video game that is reminiscent of something made in the 90s. I wouldn't be doing the art style that I'm doing, which is strictly my art style. I would be making a shooter that involves blood, gore, sex, um, um, zombies, um, cars, spaceships, and celebrities and rap music. But I'm not, because I'm making what I want to make. Giving something to other people and wanting them to like it is different from doing something strictly for other people because you feel you owe them that. I don't owe anybody anything but myself. Am I happy with what I've made myself? Absolutely. Did anybody buy my book? Nope, not really. Am I happy with it? Yup. I love what I made. Did I want people to like it? Yes. Did they? Some of them said they did. Am I okay with that? Yes. If everybody said this freaking sucks, I'll be upset because I put my heart and soul into it, but I didn't make it for them. That's it. So there's no hole in it. That's why I made it, and that's why I gave it to people, but I didn't make it for them, and I didn't kowtow to anybody. I didn't do what somebody told me to do. I'm not making something that's commercial. I'm making what I want to make, and I hope people like it. If they don't, then they don't.
Nigga, please.
So what you're saying is when you make music, in the times that you've made music, you make what I mean, I'm not even going to say that. Your intro to every video is, these are my unsolicited views, and if you don't agree with them, then you don't agree with them. This is your art, isn't it? You're not giving your views and expecting people to agree with you, are you? And when they don't agree with you, you're not heartbroken, and then your next video was not trying to do what everybody else wants you to say, is it? Is it?
No,
Nigga,
no,
Nigga, please.
no.
Because your art is yours, right? Nigga, please.
No, because see, the thing is, okay, what Lonzo thinks is not for personal consumption. It's for everybody's consumption. You can like it or you can lump it, but I make it for everybody. I do this because I want likes, I want likes, I want subscribers, I want to monetize it, okay? And now I want people to subscribe. I want people to sign up for notifications, and I want them to like what they hear. I want them to share their thoughts. I want them to comment. I want them to tell me what they think about what I think. Yeah, my thoughts are unsolicited. They're mine. Okay, nobody wants to hear. Nobody's clamoring to hear what I have to think. What I think about anything. Okay, but I put it out there for not for my own personal consumption. I don't make these videos just for me to listen to.
Actually, you do. Because, no, not for you to listen to, but you make them because you have your thoughts that you think are important.
Yeah, I think they're important, but they don't.
You think your thoughts are important. So
yeah, I do.
Video, you put them in audio and video, and you put them out there. They mean something to you. You think that your thoughts, your feelings about things are important to you. Nobody else. Nobody cares what you think. What Lonzo thinks, does anybody care? You care. You want somebody to care what you think. But if they don't, then they don't, right? Your thoughts are important to you. That is your art. You don't owe anybody a thought. You're not coming out and say, "Oh, everybody loves Rise of Skywalker, so I'm going to say I love it too." You're not doing that. You're giving your own personal thoughts about it that you care about yourself, and you're giving out there to people. That's not owing anybody anything.
Bullshit. I owe my listeners. Okay, I owe my listeners compelling topics that help them generate thought. Okay, and add to the discourse. I do owe them that. I've got my viewers or listeners or whatever who send me who make comments or whatever and contact me and say, hey, I like this, do that. And I respond in kind by providing, somebody say, hey, do a review on Stevie Wonder. Just recently, BJ Duncan, BJ, if you're out there listening, one of my listeners, loyal listeners, BJ Duncan, said, hey, do some Stevie Wonder. So I'm going to do Stevie Wonder, for him. Because that's something that, I'm going to give my unsolicited opinion on Stevie Wonder, but someone actually asked for it, so I'm doing it for my fans.
So you owe them your thoughts.
Yes, I do. There is a debt to be paid for that.
Well,
absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Well, you must not consider yourself an artist of any sort, because you're doing something strictly for other people. You just outlined why you're doing it. But you
dude. Okay, if your art is strictly for yourself, you would share it with nobody. It's impossible. It's impossible to be an artist and not want to share it. So a piece of you, you put your heart and soul in, you put your heart and soul into it, but a piece of you is out there is out there for consumption. Of the unknown people out there for your audience or for your fans or whatever.
But I didn't. Yeah, but I didn't make it for anybody.
Yeah, you didn't make it. You didn't make it specific. Just for example, if somebody contacted you, say, "Hey, I love your anime and everything. Hey, would you, in your next story, could you do something like this? Could you?"
And I probably wouldn't do it because somebody's telling me what to do.
They're not telling you what to do. They're asking you, say, "Hey, okay, I like this character, or whatever. Can you do something that's based on this, or whatever?" I mean, I'm sure you probably make, if you are someone who is true to the art, you try to incorporate something in there because once again, like the 2D game that you did or whatever, there are folks out there who are fans of that. Okay, you're not the only person who's a fan of it.
Okay, but the point of what I'm saying in that regard is, no, I'm not the only person in the world who's into that. But I've been making art my entire life, and
motherfucker, so am I. What you talking about? You ain't the only one. You're not the only artistic motherfucker in the family. What the fuck?
Is that what I said?
No, that's what you're implying.
Actually, it's not, because I didn't finish my thought. You love and just interrupting people. I didn't say that. This is what I said. I've been making art my entire life, and I'm just now wanting to give it to other people. So to say that I'm doing something because somebody else likes it is not true. I'm making my game because I want to make the game. I have always wanted to make a game. I'm making what I made, and I originally had no intention of giving it to anybody but myself. The only reason I am now is because I think, well, not only do I like it, other people might like it too. But I'm not doing the thing that people like. I'm not saying, okay, because people like these things, I'm going to do this thing that people like. I'm doing, well, because I like this thing, this is how I like to play games. This game is fun to me. I'm making what I think is fun. And when I put it out for other people to play, hopefully they will like it too. Not because somebody else likes this, I did this. So your argument in regard to Star Wars is, the people who made Star Wars, owed everybody a good time and a good story, all the characters that people wanted, the outcomes that people wanted, everything that happened in the movie should have been what people wanted. And that is not how art actually works. Star Wars, other than the design, the actual aesthetics and sound of it, is not really a work of art. It is a commercial art, and it is a work of commercial. It's a work of commerce. So, if you want to apply the whole artist owe us something as artists, that applies to The Last Jedi. That doesn't really apply to this movie.
Bullshit, but okay. I'm not gonna keep dancing this dance with you. Okay, you got your opinion, I got mine.
Yeah, that's right. But see, the thing about it is, you don't concede to anything.
You don't either.
And what you're gonna do is just say I'm wrong, and I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong here. Some other people might agree with me. Some people might agree with you. But this just goes back to what I already said about my synopsis of the movie. Ain't a bad movie overall as far as action movies go. So I've seen some really bad action movies, and this is not really a really bad action movie. It's a decent action movie. I didn't feel it was a waste of my time. Will I watch it again? Probably one more time, maybe. But it's not going to be something I want to return to over and over again. And that's what's lacking about it in regard to Star Wars. But did I think, so yes, it's a bad Star Wars movie, but I don't think it's a bad movie overall. And all I said, what started this was me saying that you didn't watch the whole movie. You didn't watch the whole movie. That's all I'm saying. You didn't watch it. I watched the whole movie and I came away with it saying, decent action movie. That's not even what I thought about Last Jedi. I thought it was a bad movie overall. So, that's all I'm saying.
I'm saying I watched enough of that movie to know it sucked ass. Okay, like Chris Rock says, when you eating ass, you know it's ass. Okay, so so shout out to Chris Rock. All right,
I'm hoarse now. Let's end it.
All right, all right, man. So, all right. In my opinion, the Rise of Skywalker sucks ass, and on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 2. You know, so
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 4. You know, again, it was a bad Star Wars movie, and that's enough to give it a 4. In fact, I might just give it a 5 because, again, it wasn't a waste of my time. It gave me some thrills, and you know, one thing is I can actually watch. Unlike you, I can watch something that's bad and appreciate some good things about it. So again, one thing I really did get out of it was it looks great and it has some really great character designs, and I love that. So with that being said, I didn't hate it, and it did have some good action sequences. So it wasn't a waste of my time. I can't give it anything lower than a 5 because it was mediocre. Mediocre is what it was. It wasn't bad. You know, I would give the Last Jedi 2 because aesthetically it was great, but overall it really was not good. And you know, I applaud Ryan Johnson for making an artistic film because he certainly did that. I applaud him for that, but that's not enough to make it something that I don't think was a waste of my time because I do think that was a waste of my time.
Ray.
And that right there, you know, that I think ruins the movie more than anything. I think if they had given if they had actually given Finn some kind of payoff, and I don't mean so much with Rey as in, you know, he had no payoff for his character. They did nothing with his character. If every character that we grew to like in this movie, meaning the main characters, Finn, Rey, and Poe, and even Rose, ended up with some satisfying outcome, then I may even elevate the score higher than 5. But they didn't do that. And that was the failure of this movie. I think if Finn hadn't been running after Rey the entire 3 films, it would have been better. They really did that guy wrong.
Well, once again, I think this film failed on every level. It's once again, it's fan service. It's a cash grab. It's a con job, and I think they owed us more than what we got. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. And if you don't like it, that's your problem, not mine. That being said,
but you owe everybody a great opinion. You owe it to them.
I owe them shit.
But
Okay.
But we are owed a great, satisfying outcome to the Star Wars trilogy.
Hey, billions of folks ain't in love with what Lonzo thinks. Okay, so the moment I hit 1 billion subscribers, then yeah, okay.
There you go. Exactly. Money. That was the whole point of what I was saying about this movie. It was not a work of art. It's a work of commerce. You got it. And I'm not making any money off of my art. So yeah, I'm not making a work of commerce.
Okay, well I make money off my art, and it's still a work of art, and with a touch of commercialism. Okay.
Go for it.
All right, cool. That being said, if y'all listening, we're at 2 hours and 48 minutes. What the hell do y'all think about everything that we just talked about? Are we way off track? Have we digressed way too much once again? This should have taken us 2 hours and 40 some odd minutes in order to express our thoughts about the last Skywalker, the rise of Skywalker. Is it worth me pissing my wife off, you know, for being down here and not paying any attention to her? Is it worth it? So what do you think? Hit me up and let me know what you think about the rise of, I can't want to say the last Skywalker, Star Wars, the rise of Skywalker. Who's off base? Am I right? Is Jake right? Is it a work of art? Is there anything owed to us by the makers of this film? Or is art strictly art? And if art is commercial, then it's no longer true art. So I want to know what everybody thinks. Hit me up. Hit us up. Let us know what y'all think. And you got any last shots?
No, my throat hurts.
Okay, and Jake's throat hurt because he's been screaming Ray for the last 2 hours. All right.
Yep.
So there you have it. Hit me up on Twitter at What Lonzo Thinks. Email whatlonzothinks@gmail.com. Continue to subscribe. My goal is 1,000 subscribers. Damn it! I'm letting you know right now. I need 1,000 subscribers. I can monetize this thing if it's 1,000 subscribers. Okay, I've been doing this for a couple years now. So damn it, we need to get the train rolling on this damn thing. So hit me up, subscribe, share. Let's do this damn thing. All right. So yeah, my thoughts are unsolicited. Nobody cares. I don't care what you think. You don't care what I think. But let's not care together. So that being said, hit me up. Let me know what you think. Because once again, I just told your punk ass what Lonzo thinks. Bye.